Changes coming for the Vegas Golden Knights as the team did announce today that John Tortorella would not be continuing on as the team's head coach. Tortorella did take over with just a handful of games after the team fired Bruce Cassidy and then did help lead Vegas to a cup final where they ultimately did fall to Carolina in 6 games. We did have a trade today, though, in the NHL. The Flyers get goaltender Joseph Woll and defenseman Simone Benoit. They said Toronto, a 3rd and 26 goalie Samuel Ersson, and defenseman Emile Andre. To the Bills, they did release their camp schedule for 2026. They're only going to be at St. John Fisher, though, for 7 days, with day one being Wednesday, July 29th, while the return of the blue and red practice is Saturday, August 8th at 7 p.m. For more on the schedule release, we do have a piece up at our website, WGR550.com. Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice was released from jail today after serving his 30-day sentence for a probation violation. And the Saints, they are officially bringing back 8-time Pro Bowl edge rusher Cam Jordan. The deal is expected to be a 1-year deal, as it is going to be incentive-laden as well. To the World Cup, game 1 of the day starting in the next few minutes. It's France versus Senegal over in New Jersey. 6 p.m., Iraq versus Norway in Boston. 9 p.m., the 22 champions Argentina begin their title events versus Algeria. That's in Kansas City. And then for all the Night Owls at midnight, Austria versus Jordan over in San Francisco. While in baseball, Bison's home versus the Knights at 6:35. That game is over on our sister station, the Bet 1520. It's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Zach Jones for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
It's Mike Schopp and the Bulldog.
You know, I gotta wonder what kind of working relationship he'd have with Satan.
It's Mike Schopp.
I've often wondered that.
Like he, they, I don't know what his pronouns are, or their pronoun. Anyway, Satan.
And the Bulldog.
What's the upside of doing well?
Well, maybe they're too busy making everyone else's life hell.
Oh, boy.
And
wow.
you might just be able to do your own thing if you're partnered with Satan.
It's Mike Schopp and the Bulldog.
They're too busy, making Scott Norwood miss field goals.
Oh, come on.
On WGR, Sports Radio 550.
All right. You got it working?
Everything seems to be in order, yes.
Oh, damn. I was hoping not.
You miss one day around here, and it's like, I got a new secret handshake to get into the computer.
Well, what's this? Is it just never going to... What's this deal with this people in here before we get here?
I know. Is
that like the new norm?
That seems like it's probably permanent. I don't know that
I'm in here like every day. I'm sweating.
The people that
I'm
were
trying
here
to make
today,
everything work.
Brad and Tim.
How does Brad sit like this?
The most frequent group that's here 1 to 3, but I don't know if they're permanent. But I think it's permanent that someone is going to be in here 1 to 3.
It's
ahead of us.
How does Brad sit in this chair the way he does?
I don't know. Is it on the ground basically?
Yes.
Like it's like your knees are up to your
and
chin.
He has the
He's
option.
Always done that.
Really?
Yes. I remember him doing that at WBEN back in the 90s.
You see what I'm doing now? Those of you who are
World.
watching, rocking like this, being able to sort of sit back. He doesn't have that. He just locks it in. Mm-hmm. Why would you prefer that?
I used to be locked in. Now I like to be able to sit back.
Why would you prefer to have it be stationary when you can have the option of moving?
I used to feel like I don't want to be that relaxed. I want the support. I want to be,
relaxed is bad.
We're working, I want to be at attention. So, but now I've eased up. I have you can tell I'm talking from leaning back.
Yeah, I mean,
it's natural now. But there was
the only thing I'm missing is a cigar, really. That's the only thing that would enhance my sort of relaxed state. Not every day can be like that, but today sort of feels like that.
Well, good. I'm glad I'm back for that. I missed yesterday.
Yes. I think probably when I'm in here alone, I am more up, a little bit less relaxed, probably. Like, who's going to talk if I don't? How big a story for you is the camp schedule? So I've known for about a week that
same here. Yeah.
It was going to be short.
Yeah.
8 morning practices. And part of that is that they are starting late because the season starts later than usual. So it's maybe the latest it can be. The latest training camp start, July 29th, which is almost August. So it's basically August. And then you have the 7th is the last day. It's all in the morning. I mean, the only thing I would say about that is people who like to go to training camp, that can't go in the morning can't go at all. Like there's no one practice that's later in the day or at night even like we used to have. I mean, McDermott pretty much ran them in the morning. And I thought maybe Brady would be different, but it's not. So it's 8 practices all in the morning, 8:30, and that's it. And then the next week they're out of there and they're in the stadium for that scrimmage, and that's the end of it. And I don't want to seem like incredulous because this is always kind of the way it feels like it's trending.
Right.
But I think it's a pretty big deal that they're there for a week only.
I do too.
Why bother?
I think, I mean, good question. I wonder how much longer they'll continue to bother. Like, I don't know what the status of the relationship, the contract, the agreement between the Bills and St. John Fisher University.
It's harder even for me.
Is. So I don't know if they're year to year or if they agreed to a 3-year or something. I have no idea where that lies. But yeah, it's not a lot to say. I was bracing for this when McDermott first got here because I felt like I heard some things early on that indicated that he didn't love that idea and that maybe the Bills were going to try to end that relationship. And it's obviously went on another 9 years, and here's a 10th year. But yeah, you're right. Every cool, old school, kind of not expensive opportunity that fans have to be around their teams, those become in shorter and shorter supply as the years go by. And this is going to be another one. It remains to be seen. I'm sort of already guessing at how much longer they'll even bother with it at all. Because at some point you might go, if we're only going to be there for a week, why bother?
Yeah.
Right? But I do like that they're still going to maintain that opportunity for fans to. It's going to be more limited than it's ever been. So good on them for maintaining at least that. But it's another signpost on the way to, you don't get to be close to your team unless you can afford it. Kind of thing, because to me, I don't know if everyone feels this way, but like the absolute most charming thing about summertime football practice is that it doesn't cost anything to go, and you've way more access, and sure there's a line and it's more organized than it used to be to get autographs and whatever, but at least you still, if your kids are football crazed, you have an opportunity maybe to even take a day off of work and go do that, and like that's a lot of families have done that, and those opportunities just start to go by the boards, I think, as we get older. So it's not surprising, but that doesn't make it, fail to rise to the level of being disappointing. I think it's disappointing.
That's right.
That it's another opportunity. Just because I've been expecting it for longer than, before it happened, it doesn't soften it anymore if it's a thing that people really look forward to doing. So it's disappointing. I'm not mad about it, but it's kind of a bummer, I think.
The thing, and this kind of thing comes up a lot, and it's not just me, but it's not everybody either. The thing about stuff like this is it gets to be, you get to a point where you feel like you're wasting energy complaining about it because forces are so one way when it comes to money. That what am I doing, like mental health, right? That's what we say now. What am I doing to my mental health if I get upset about just how at every turn, whether it's, well, in this case, like I'm not a fan who goes to training camp. I've done it. This, if you are one of those people, or like what channel has the show ever sounded older? Where can I find the game and how much does that cost? Like all that kind of stuff just sort of bleeds you dry to varying degrees, and you just don't want to succumb to the frustrations and the sadness of all of that stuff. So what are you supposed to do? Ignore it? And the length of Bill's training camp is very small on this list of these things. Right. It's not that big to that many people, and there still is going to be a week.
There is still that opportunity, yes.
But it's just like at every, you probably did too, anybody who's on the list. We got an email, everybody did, in the media probably, from the Bills today, announcing changes to their front office. I mean, these are job titles I'm not even sure I've ever heard before, but okay. Senior Director of Game Presentation and Entertainment. Well, I guess somebody has to do that.
That's a job.
If I go to a game and I don't like the music, somebody is in charge of the music. Managing Director, Media Sales and Affiliate Relations. Senior Director, Partner and Premium Hospitality. I think, that's all fine. Congratulations to these people who, they've earned these jobs. These kind of emails also suck the life out of me because I feel like they're a stealth attempt to stuff as many big words that we can't even really find the strength to think about into one announcement as possible. The Bills themselves, at the end of the email, it's about Highmark Stadium. In conjunction with legends and architectural firm Populous, the Bills have left no stone on. This is like about us, right? This is the email. It's about us. The Bills have left no stone unturned in covering every innovative element of new stadium design and fan amenities, including featuring iconic Buffalo architecture and the deep-rooted spirit of Bills Mafia, which they bought, the name Bills Mafia. I don't even know what that means. The open-air football first venue. Football first, what literally else is ever going to happen there? They're spending billions just for Bills games. Nothing else is ever going to happen there, probably. The open air.
I don't think that's right.
I hope you're right. Football first venue. I mean, first by how much? Will feature premium reserved seating that delivers an elevated game day experience and atmosphere. A striking canopy structure will provide seating bowl coverage, enhancing fan comfort.
Please stop.
What happened to sports? What happened to sports? How many yards are there on the field? What happened to sports? The Bills? Fans will enjoy 360-degree concourses, frictionless food and beverage marketplaces. Frictionless. That's a draw? They don't have to touch anything? Didn't we just auction off
or anyone.
Urinals and troughs? Frictionless. Is that it? That's a word? Cutting edge
it's
auto
desirable, apparently.
I like cutting edge audio visual
friction.
features. A new sporting stadium standard. What is this place?
It's on
the moon?
It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. That's all they could have told you.
This transformative project is a public-private, emphasis on public, it should be in caps, public-private partnership. Where were we? Training camp is only
truncated.
A week. Yeah. How long was Niagara when they had training camp in Niagara? 2 months? They had 6 preseason games.
Yeah. I mean, when I started at the 90s, camp was literally a month.
Can anybody tell me what that is, that whole paragraph, what that means? Is it going to be fun?
I already told you. The stadium's going to be awesome. That's it. They could have just sent that out. But that's not.
That'd be better.
Yeah.
Whatever this nonsense is.
Yep. It's going to be awesome.
This is the About Us paragraph.
We did a lot of things that you're going to make you love it here. So, yeah.
Hopefully they'll be good. I mean, that's
important.
I think I'm a bad person. I couldn't care less about giant buffalo statues. I couldn't care less. Why? Why is that interesting?
I don't know what's wrong with you. You don't have to. I don't know.
What do I have to not do? I'm not mad. I just don't care. Why do I care if they have buffalo statues? What is that going to do? Is that enhancing my game day experience?
Yeah, I think so.
I
think so.
All right.
Yes. I'm kind of into the buffalo statues.
Somebody else's.
I wanted the buffalo statues to be, like many people, preposterously large, and I don't want to rule on that till I think we saw the baby bison today is what we saw. So I don't know how big, but I was hoping maybe I could see them from I don't know.
Are they frictionless?
Chestnut Ridge. Probably.
Am I allowed to touch them?
No.
Are they frictionless buffaloes?
I would not think you're going to be touching these buffalo statues.
Then they're frictionless. Well, that's good. You wouldn't want to die from having to touch something at the stadium. I don't know. All right.
I have been anticipating the arrival of the bison statues myself. Really. I mean, I don't know. So I have to admit that I rise above the level of not caring at all. Is it vitally important to my existence? Of course not. But I think it's pretty cool that they're going to have the big buffaloes, big bison. It's bisons, not buffaloes.
Bison.
See, I learned this. I went to Yellowstone. This is the things you get taught.
Oh,
those are not buffalo; they're bison. Get it together.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's not quite RIP training camp, but almost.
Right. Yeah. That I think is the next
Frictionless.
The next step is
training camp is almost frictionless.
That just doesn't, that doesn't exist. And maybe they do, they'll have, right, they're having a stadium practice. There will be an evening, right? That is the last thing on that schedule that I think got released today.
But it's here.
Right. It's at the new stadium. But that's cool, right? I mean, people will get to go to that. So that's awesome. So maybe they'll still always do that in the summer.
Is it free?
It always has been.
Okay,
it's just
good.
one of those things you got to get tickets for.
Good.
But to my knowledge, it's never been something you got to pay for.
So the Buffaloes are the iconic Buffalo architecture reference here, probably? Is that?
No, I'll bet that there's elements inside the stadium that are hat tips to different. Yeah,
Like the Darwin Martin House?
Maybe. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
That would qualify.
I don't know what's in there because, like you, I've not ever been in there.
No.
You know.
I went at least to that stadium experience.
Yeah, right. You
business.
did see that. I never even got to do that. We were invited to do that. I had a conflict and couldn't make it that day, so it wasn't. Wasn't that we weren't invited or I wasn't invited.
You're right, though. You're right to call me out. I'm having a day where I'm just mad at everything. Kind of.
It happens.
Like just
You're that age.
So somebody deserves a Pulitzer probably for working so many stupid, meaningless words, corporate words into one email. I think that's probably something that would win awards in a completely different universe than the one I live in.
My favorite for sure is frictionless.
Frictionless.
That's strong.
Wow. I got to see this place. I can buy a hot dog without touching anything. Do I have to? Do I get to touch the? Well, let's say beer. Do I get to drink the beer? Can I drink the beer without touching it? Is there a technology for that yet?
Maybe with a straw.
Maybe. I don't know. Buffalo statues. That's good. You just can't touch them. And you wouldn't want to? Is that what you said?
I don't know that I wouldn't want to. I'm imagining they're going to be
Frictionless?
behind some sort of a cordoned off like that. I don't think you want people showing up there in the middle of the night climbing on them.
No.
Which I think if they were, accessible to the extent where you could touch them, then that would probably happen, and I think that would be bad.
I think I have to admit, contributing to this bad attitude of mine is Harry Skull's video from the tunnel. Where they're taking it all
looks
apart.
like just a pile of dirt in
Just
the
a
stadium
big
now.
mud pit.
Yeah.
Walking through the tunnel. I've done that. I don't have the record for most times walking through that tunnel, but, that's a special image. It's a special part of, like every stadium has their own kind of an iconic Bills, the stadium, the fan base. It's also famously cool, and the fans are so loyal, and everything that comes with sort of like the Bills fan persona, if you will. And the tunnel, I'm thinking of like just NFL film stuff of players, Kelly is the first player I think of for this, walking down that ramp from the tunnel onto the field, and just the roar of it's all just dust now, almost. Yep. And I mean, that was always going to happen too.
I think I only made that. I got to do that walk one time. Make that walk one time.
Onto the field?
Yeah. I never was one. I covered a lot of Sabres, but like the Bills, as far as like, I've been in the media room a million times, but I never was there. I don't think I've ever been in the Bills locker room.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Ever?
Yeah.
Oh,
really?
wow.
Like I think even back in the 90s, I don't think training camp, different thing, but this, no. But I took part in like a some health insurance carrier sponsored a wellness thing, and there was like we did stuff. I got gloves. Fred Jackson gave me sticky gloves, and I participated in like a challenge of some kind with other media, and I got to walk down the tunnel and run around on the field.
Even when it was you and I would go on the field before games like every time.
Right. You always did that.
With Joe Buscaglia.
Right.
We'd walk on the field and we'd talk about his socks, and we'd walk around, and take pictures and stuff. They put a stop to that, though. I guess that was a threat.
Our
That
level
must have
of
been a
press pass
threat.
was no longer allowed on the
Yeah,
field.
that must have been just too much for the
In fact,
Bills.
I believe our credential the last few years we were going even said in like big bold letters somewhere, no field access.
I'm sure it did.
You are not allowed. Here's one place you can't go.
And
the only place you really want to go. That's the place you can't go.
That's right. And if you see something interesting, don't tell anybody. That's one of their rules, too. Don't. You see somebody, hey, he's lining up at left tackle today. Well, shut up. Don't ever say a word about it. You can tell your friends that's it, or else you're out of here.
Even that's risky.
Even that's depending on who your friends are.
What if they take to social media? Hey, Bulldog told me.
You know, this is in keeping with the theme today, but when I think I was in that locker room 100 times, and at least, and I think of like sort of the memories I enjoy the least are the ones that I think of first.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
It's John Fina or it's Ted Washington.
Someone being
or
grouchy or
it's just some
flat out
jerk.
rude. Yeah.
Yes, it's just some jerk who won't even play by the easy rules.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I had lots of, you know who I really liked? Ken Irvin. Remember him?
Yes.
That was a guy that would always sort of be nice to you and talk to you. I'm trying to think of the guys that I enjoyed.
Liked
Ostrowski.
encountering. Yeah, Jerry O was great.
Kent Hall, those guys. I mean, it's a long time ago now, but
Yep.
I haven't been in there in many years. I'm sure it's all different. Well, this is an adjustment. Trying to get to a place where we can have an interesting conversation other than just being mad at the world. Frictionless. Will I be allowed to sit in my seat, or do I have to sort of hover? Is the friction between my butt and the seat allowed? Is that something I should look forward to?
Oh, it better be, baby.
Am I allowed to sit there? Do I need to bring like a towel or something so that I don't do any damage to the place? Frictionless. What a word. And I thought this was a little bit interesting. Highmark Stadium, the Bills in this ridiculous piece of literature, that's what it's called. It's not New Highmark Stadium. Mm-hmm. There's no sort of allusion that I saw in there today to like remind you that it's a different place.
I think once they started tearing the old one down, I think they felt pretty comfortable you wouldn't make the mistake of going to the old stadium for something.
In the spirit of World Cup, I wanted to call it Buffalo Stadium.
Right.
And there's Buffaloes.
Or Orchard Park Stadium.
Orchard Park Stadium.
What are we going to go with there?
Western New York Stadium, Lake Erie, Bay Area, right? We have.
Oh, is that a thing? Bay Area
Bay
Stadium?
Area,
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco Bay Area, or just Bay Area because it's not in. We have New York, New Jersey, which is not in New York. We have Boston, which is not in Boston, even close to Boston.
Right. It's basically in Orchard Park. Like it's
farther.
It's even farther. Okay.
I think it's more like an hour away.
Oh, wow.
From, isn't it?
I thought it was like
Foxborough?
within 40 minutes or half an hour.
I think it's closer to Providence.
Yeah.
We're not calling it Providence Stadium.
No, we're not.
I think I've just already exhausted you.
Yeah, I'm reconsidering arranging my
Coming
days
in.
off differently next time. Maybe I should have taken today off. Because yesterday I burned yesterday, and I just didn't even. I sat on the couch and watched, which was fine. I had a fine day, but I mean, I had big plans, and I got rained out. It wasn't raining yesterday, but I couldn't play golf because it was too wet. We were supposed to play, and so I watched 4 soccer matches. I didn't see the end of. I fell asleep during New Zealand, Iran, but the other 3 I saw. I think every minute of. Really,
4 draws.
4 draws. Right, one of them scoreless.
Right.
Thanks for coming.
Arguably, that was the most interesting too.
Yes, right.
The first one.
Yeah. Yep. So,
I don't mind.
Very enjoy. I don't mind at all. I really enjoyed all of it. The hour in between. The matches I thought was interesting. I feel like I learned stuff. Just don't ask me about any of it. I mean, I felt like I took a lot in. Like yesterday was my first real, we've had it on in here. I watched the USA Friday night. Yesterday was like long haul trucking. I'm watching the world. And I never even one time thought, I wonder if there's a ball game on or anything. I just was on Fox or Fox Sports 1 all day, and I never moved. And it was good. Like the coverage was, I think,
very good.
Yeah.
I agree.
Really, really good.
I've only found one broadcast team that I don't like. For me, that's saying a lot.
That's tremendous.
I think John Strong and Stu Holden, the main, are great. And they might have had Spain yesterday, actually, not just the U.S. games.
Mm-hmm.
I just think they're both really, really good. So a lot of it's exceptional for me, and you're saying the same. Well, team me up, I guess. I don't know. That could go completely sideways today. I just frictionless. I don't promise to be frictionless today. I think I'm quite not.
I don't think I want you to be.
I think I'm quite not frictionless today. I think there's already been friction. I promise friction. Hopefully that's a good thing.
No, you being mad about the bison statues that's friction.
I don't mind them. I just don't get why they're so interesting. What's cool about it?
Because they're new. We've never had them before. That's it. that's really it.
Okay.
I think.
But you understand you can't ride them. They're not an amusement park ride.
I'm going to just go ahead and say, I mean, I haven't had a meeting on this, but I'm 100% sure you are not allowed to ride the bison
they're
statues.
not mechanical bulls here.
No, they're not. No.
Mike Schopp and the Bulldog at 803-0550. Mike Giardi coming up. We can ask him exactly how far away from Boston Stadium is.
All right.
That's a little bit later. Thanks for listening. Lines are open for your calls. This is WGR.
For more comfort.
Now's the perfect time to make yourself comfortable with a new electric heating and cooling system from Belknap.
In Western New York, summer and winter bring extreme temperature conditions. Make yourself comfortable with Mitsubishi electric heat pumps, designed to keep your home cool in the summer and warm in the winter, no matter how hot or cold it gets outside. Call Belknap today to learn more.
I'm Gary Garfel, president of Belknap. We work on your schedule. We don't charge more for weekends and evenings. That's why we say,
give Belknap a ring.
you just don't know. And the team is, whatever their record could be in the middle of the season, scrutiny is getting louder. How does a head coach in that position, how do they react the course of a game? A minute left, it's 4th and 3, you're at midfield. They've got to make that decision in the snap of a finger. You can talk about it, you can think about it, and in all these head coach interviews, they simulated. They had a pretty good sense that Joe Brady could react the right way in those situations. You don't know until you see it.
Tyler Dunn, yesterday afternoon, golongtd.com.
Another reason I wish I'd been here yesterday instead of today. I miss Tyler. Nothing against Mike. I'm going to enjoy Mike Giardi in half an hour. He's a favorite of ours. But I miss Tyler.
Had the same instinct as you just then. Wait, this sounds bad toward the guy that's going to be on this show.
Right?
I didn't mean that.
No, I definitely did not mean that.
How interested are you? I know the show preceding ours was in on this topic. Brendan Sorsby. So now he's going to try to get into the NFL after all. Mm-hmm. The supplemental draft. My favorite thing about the supplemental draft is supplemental draft trivia.
You've been digging in on supplemental draft.
The Kozar thing is wild. What happened? And as I said to you earlier today, man, if this happened in the present, we would just never stop analyzing it.
I think that's probably right.
The Bills made. The way it's always seemingly written is like quietly made a trade with the Browns in 1985 so that the Browns would have the Bills' supplemental pick. I'm not sure if even technically the Bills didn't make the pick themselves and then trade it to Cleveland. I don't know which happened first. But the Browns wanted Bernie Kosar, who wanted them.
Mm-hmm.
And he was not eligible for the real draft in those days because he hadn't completed school, but he's like, I will. I'll actually finish as a sophomore after 2 years at Miami. He's like, I'll do that. I'll complete, get all my credits and then enter the NFL. I'll be allowed to do that. But for a while, it wasn't known whether he had. The Miami Hurricanes reported to the league that he had, but he didn't sign anything. And so Minnesota... What? It's wild, right? It's already crazy.
I'm loving the idea of NFL teams waiting and, like, there's some typing professor at the University of Miami has not turned in a grade yet for Bernie Kosar, so we don't know if he has all the credits he needs yet.
Right.
Like, what are we waiting on here?
Right. That might have been the case.
Right. I love that.
So he wants to go pro, and he wants to go to Cleveland. He's from there. He said it. Minnesota didn't care that much about that. They trade up with Houston in the 85 draft. The Bills have the first pick. They're taking Bruce Smith. And they have Kelly, although he's not here yet. So they didn't have any interest in Kosar, didn't need Kosar. Minnesota trades up to like 3 so that they can pick him. But they don't know for sure whether he's going to be in the draft, and eventually he's not. And so there's a lawsuit. Houston wants the pick back. So Houston sues the league and Pete Rozelle, the commissioner of the league then, and they want the draft stopped. They want the draft to not happen because of this confusion.
Forever and ever, or just for this year?
I don't know.
When it will abolish
at least
for
for 1985.
Okay.
So quietly, the Bills make this deal with the Browns, and the Bills get their first, their third, a 6th, and Chip Banks, linebacker Chip Banks, who was an All-Pro. And the Browns get the rights to that supplemental pick, which had the Bills not traded it, they would have been the first overall pick the next year, but they did. So one thing that happened was, what I read, nobody could find Chip Banks to tell him about this trade. I mean, it was like the spring anyway.
Right.
But nobody could find him.
Uh-huh.
So the Bills...
It's on a fishing trip.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Just like I'm not answering my phone. I don't want to be traded.
Right.
I don't know. So
you were traveling everywhere with a phone, like that
right.
Not being like, well, the number we have, they say he's not there. They don't know where he is.
Nobody knows where he is.
Okay.
So they can't. The Bills don't get Chip Banks. Instead, they get Cleveland's number 1 the next year. Instead, which seems a lot better.
Sure. I mean, they might have liked the idea of Chip Banks helping them right away, but still, a first-round pick from the Cleveland Browns usually is pretty good.
Usually. And it was like middle of the pack, and it was Ronnie Harmon, I think, the Bills used that pick on. Cleveland, right? Sort of ironic.
Yeah, right.
So the Browns do pick Kozar in the supplemental draft, and the Bills get that haul, but they end up relinquishing the 101 in 86. I think it would have been the 101 or 102. Tampa was bad, too. That was Bo Jackson. Anyway, this is not about Brendan Sorsby.
No, it's not about Brendan Sorsby. I think the most interesting facet of the Brendan Sorsby, it's a saga now. There have been more than one lawsuit. He was not going to be able to play college football, and he was going to be allowed to play college football, and then everybody else complained about that, so now he's probably not going to be able to play college football, so now he's back to this square on the board, which is, I'm going to try the supplemental draft. I mean, he's already carrying the stigma of having had obviously a big enough problem with gambling that it cost him some portion of his college career. I don't know how hard and fast the rules are, and I know lots of people will be waiting to tell us how duplicitous it is, but I'm assuming the league, the NFL I'm talking about, this guy's already got strikes on him, I would think, as far as gambling goes. So, you're gonna have to swallow hard and trust this kid if you're going to invest in him, because he might be one mishap away from being gone forever because of what happened already in college with him. And so I know teams are generally pretty risk averse, to some extent. It depends on how talented you are. I don't know that this guy's so talented that somebody's just going to go, all right, I'm not going to worry about that, especially with a supplemental pick. Like, what, you basically be just, all right, I'm going to do this in lieu of doing something that might be a better idea 8 months or 9 months from now. And I don't know, that feels like a very small head of a needle that I'm trying to thread there if I'm this kid. So I don't know. I think anything could happen. Somebody could fall in love with him and think he's as good as Ty Simpson or better, and I'm just going to shoot my shot. But the scarlet letter already with the gambling stuff, I think, is it's a big enough deal that, I don't know, I'm quarterback needy. I don't know that I'm getting in line for this guy. I might wait and avail myself, wait and see who shows up from JUCO and has a great year next year, and just wait until the regular draft.
Well, I saw in the Bet Online, the requisite Bet Online email for anything that can be bet on in sports, that the likeliest, according to the betting markets, the likeliest outcome is that he goes in the third round. And as fair as everything you just said is, I think if I'm a team that does not have the answer already on my roster at that position, I'm totally using my third round pick in the supplemental draft. Like, imagine if you knew that next year in the third round you could get something close to the best quarterback in this draft. Mm-hmm. You mean, of course, you would not even have a chance to do that.
Right, that's right.
So, mistakes are made. Watson, not the same issues, but still, like, you're making a gamble on somebody that, it could turn out badly. And in a sense, that's every draft pick,
right.
Even if there hasn't been something yet, maybe they just can't play. Maybe they don't have the head for it.
Or maybe they're about to do the dumb thing. But the fact that this guy's already got, and I'm speaking from a position of not knowing exactly what the league would do with this. If he shows up and gets caught doing anything on a gambling app again, is he done? Like, I want to know that before I'm even using a third round supplemental pick on him, because I don't know the answer to that, and it might not work that way. Maybe he's got a clean sheet now that it's the NFL. It's a new chapter. We don't hold against you what you did, when you were in college. I don't know.
We don't, or maybe even we can't.
Yeah, right. I don't know how that all comes together. So there might not even be anything to the deterrent of picking him, because he's already got a book, he's already got a record, so to speak. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know. But I do remember, I think when we first talked about him, when this story first cropped up, when he was trying to I think when it was first floated that he might go to the supplemental draft, I think I saw Doug Farrar say, Like he's right, was right, or one of the guys that we all follow for football, prospect rankings and stuff, said he was right around the same level prospect as Ty Simpson, who was that Rams took him 13th or something.
Yeah.
So that, there could be great value there in the third round. If that's a third round pick, like you're saying, but you're just going to have to trust it.
I want to know more about. I'm eager to learn more about how this actually physically works. This draft, like, did they just sort of have everybody on a call? They don't convene for this, I would assume.
I don't believe that.
So everybody's on the phone and they just sort of go in order. And if there's, we can say pass or just be silent or something, and then you lose. Hopefully it's not 10 minutes per pick. Right. And if you're the Jets, the Jets, I think, are probably the team that would be the likeliest to make sense for this player because, Geno Smith, but still, like, they're one of these teams that just does not have a clear answer and are just dying for one. Do you even wait until the third round? Just in case some Arizona or somebody is going to beat you to him.
Right.
Maybe you just don't. Maybe you just – I don't know. I think even some of these teams and their GMs would have little to no experience. Most would have little to no experience about sort of like strategy when it comes to this. So that could be fun. In fantasy, I know everybody's trying to figure out what to do with him because most of your rookie drafts are over and he's not in the league yet. He might not even be on your site.
Right.
And I think the only thing you can do is leave him for waivers once you get, most leagues don't run waivers until close to the season. And he's in the pool at that point if he ends up being drafted in the supplemental draft. I don't know what else you can do. You're not going to do the whole draft over.
Probably not.
As much fun as drafts can be.
Not just for this one guy. Yeah, no, that seems a bit much.
Yeah. Mike Giardi coming up in 20 minutes, 803-0550 for us. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog, WGR.
Summer often means your driveway
You missed only one day, but there was a lot.
Everything ended.
I mean, Stanley Cup, NBA, right. U.S. soccer on Friday. We weren't here to sort of weigh in on any of that. Carolina, it's in the book, Carolina.
Yeah.
And I can't complain about Conn Smythe.
No, you can't. No.
I don't have enough.
No.
It's not Jack Adams.
No.
Where it's like completely not fair.
Yeah, right.
But Jordan Staal winning, okay. I mean, I think that's a reasonable choice. Greg Wyshynski said he thought Taylor Hall should have won. I was on Stankoven, and I couldn't. I mean, a couple more might have been enough.
A couple more, yeah.
But I don't really think there's an argument.
No,
in the
don't
end.
Either. I would have lost a lot of money wagering on who was going to get the cup in what order. I was at a concert Sunday night, but it ended in time. I thought it would. It ended in time for us to watch the third period of the game. And so saw that, and then, of course, like I'm going to just stay here and watch all this. The establishment we were at left it on and kept the place open long enough for us to do that, and I just did not see Freddie Anderson coming as the who was going to get the cup after the captain.
Well, then you probably didn't hear Jordan Staal say that he was going to do that.
Oh, I did not know. When did that happen?
After the game was over.
Oh, okay.
He was asked about
right.
who gets the cup,
right.
and he said, he didn't say it directly, but Anderson is who he mentioned.
Yeah, right.
But okay, like I didn't think about it.
Oh, so like he was interviewed on the ice before the presentation,
yes.
and said, okay, yeah, I did not have sound on where I was.
Yes.
So I saw him interviewed, but I didn't know what he had said.
Yep.
So yeah, I was all like, I thought Taylor Hall would be pretty. He's a veteran guy, famous guy, number 1 overall pick. But Slavin has been there forever, and Martinook I thought would outrank even Freddie Anderson, but so be it.
So be it.
Yep.
In the end, they won the way they were winning. I mean, Vegas just could not
get through.
Yep. And I said yesterday, you know this about me, whatever you feel like, however you feel about a certain team or its players, I like it when the best team wins. And arguably they were.
Yeah.
I mean, they certainly were in the playoffs. You almost can't win without being that. But really, they were not a fluke at all.
What did they go 16-3?
16-3. But they were the 1 seed in the East going in.
Yeah.
So they have every right to it, Carolina. I mean, the Avalanche were the only team above them, and they went out. So.
Yep.
And then the Knicks. Did you watch the end of the Knicks?
I did. Yeah. I was always going to be fine whatever happened there, because both teams, there was plenty of appeal to me on both sides of that series. I would have just would have liked it to just go longer. Same thing with the hockey. Like the hockey started so well, I thought it ended kind of with a thud, which sometimes happens. I don't know if these teams are at their physical best or even mental best by the time they get to the end of the Stanley Cup final. I mean, it's just such a long, hard road. And not to say that basketball's that much easier either, but both series just sort of fizzled. I felt like when they started, I thought like these could be 2 of the best finals series I've ever seen, and I would not say that about either one now, because the drama just wasn't really there in the end. It was just too
well,
easy,
you did get comebacks
we did,
from the Knicks.
That's right. That's right.
Every game they won.
That's right. They were down by double digits in every game they won. So I think did that hold for the last game? I think it did.
I think so.
Yeah, I think San Antonio was up by like 12 in that game early, if not more than that even. But yeah.
Has there ever been an NBA game where one team wasn't ahead by at least 10?
No, never. Never ever.
I wonder how many games this year were games where nobody ever led by 10. Not that many, probably.
Yeah.
What percent of NBA games are games where nobody ever has a double-digit lead? 10%? 5%? Not saying good or bad. Just
yeah. I don't know. I've never thought about that. Okay. I'm sure that information's out there somewhere.
I wonder. Mike Giardi, we'll see if he knows. Boston Sports Journal next on WGR.
We've been living in sin so long, all the feels are gone. Fella stopped me on the street last night, said everything's alright. Roller coaster, make it through the day upright. It seems your meal ticket is gone, but life goes on. I could never imagine something better. Yeah, right. Now you're cooking on high heat in the middle of the street. Roller coaster, take me to a better time. Let's go. All sing your high line with the roller coaster of life. It's time to all choose your timeline on the roller coaster of life. You seem to easily forget how to place your bet. When everyday life gets you down, you gotta steal the crown. Got to own it. Don't bitch and moan about it, please. God forbid you scrape your knees, and it's nothing to sneeze at. Oh, I've told you over and over again. You gotta get both hands around it and make your own plans. Roller coaster, it's taking over. It's about time. Oh, all sing your high line on the roller coaster of life. We've got to all choose your timeline with the roller coaster of life. Roller coaster. I want to go down the rabbit hole, down the rabbit hole of life. And now it's about to leave. Oh, roller coaster.
Changes coming for the Vegas Golden Knights. The team did announce today John Tortorella not coming back as the team's head coach. Tortorella, of course, famously took over for Bruce Cassidy with just a handful of games left in the regular season and did help guide Vegas to the Cup final, but they ultimately do fall to Carolina in 6 games. There was other NHL news. We have a trade. The Flyers get goaltender Joseph Woll and defenseman Simone Benoit. They send Toronto a 3rd and 26, goalie Samuel Ersson, and defenseman Emile Andre. To the Bills, they did release their 2026 training camp schedule. They're only going to be at St. John Fisher for 7 days, though last year they were only there for 10 days. Day one, though, it is Wednesday, July 29th, and then the return of the blue and red practice over at Highmark Stadium. That is going to be Saturday, August 8th at 7 p.m. For more, we have a piece up at our website, WGR550.com. Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice was released from jail today after serving his 30-day sentence for probation violation. And the Saints, they are officially bringing back 4-time Pro Bowl edge rusher Cam Jordan. It is expected to be a 1-year incentive-laden contract for him. Over in the World Cup, France and Senegal, they are scoreless through the first half. That game is over in New Jersey. 6 p.m., Iraq versus Norway. That game just outside of Boston. 9 p.m. sees the 2022 champions Argentina beginning their title defense. They take on Algeria in Kansas City. And then for you Night Owls, we have a game at midnight. Austria takes on World Cup debut Jordan. That is over in San Francisco. Then in baseball, Bisons, their home versus the Knights at 6:35. That game can be heard over on our sister station, the Bet 1520. It's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Zach Jones for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
It's Mike Schopp and the Bulldog.
don't think Michael's ever done drugs.
It's Mike Schopp.
I don't know if anyone's ever offered him any.
Let's go over some of the symptoms of marijuana use, shall we? You tell me who this sounds like.
It's the Bulldog.
Slow moving, inattentive, dull, constantly snacking, shows a lack of motivation.
It's Mike Schopp and the Bulldog on WGR Sports Radio 550.
Welcome back. Hot one. Although I'm going outside during breaks to cool off today. Because of whatever today's deal is here in this room.
It's not just this room. Did you notice the hallway right outside the door is where the heat starts? And I've never experienced that in 25 years of coming in here to do shows. This room has had erratic temperature problems for the entirety of the time that we've been working here. But it's boiling hot outside there in the hallway too, which is weird. Don't know what's happening there.
The guys before us left the door open.
Right.
Which I would never do, but
I've done it when I'm in here by myself on days where I'm about to start. You know, I work harder when you're not here, and I can feel like I'm just gonna sweat through this hoodie if I don't open. I gotta open the door.
Well, just a peek behind the curtain. Which, if you're watching us today, we're both sweating profusely.
Yeah, it's gross.
With us now, hopefully not sweating profusely, is Mike Giardi.
Very comfortable.
Boston Sports Journal, Boston famous for so many things, including Boston Stadium.
Yes. Isn't that lovely, Boston Stadium? Are they trying to smoke you out of the building?
Maybe.
What is happening?
They might be, Mike. I don't know.
They're out of ideas, Mike. They're out of ideas to get rid of us.
We're gonna. I mean, we're streaming, so we can't. The shirts and skins is not going to work in here. I don't think our audience is ready for that. But I don't know what else to do.
Yeah, well.
You know what though? Now think about that. If you went shirts and skins, maybe that would force management's hand, because there'd be you don't know what kind of reaction you would get on the stream. And now they might be like, you know what? All right, we got to go in there and fix this. We can't do this
ghastly
anymore.
is a word that comes to mind, in my case anyway.
It might require pants and skins to get that kind of to get a meeting, but who knows? Maybe you're right. Mike, so it's been a while. We always enjoy your visits. How has this Patriots offseason been to cover? And I ask that, not to be cute or funny. I feel like this would be the worst kind of a story to have to cover, to talk about, because it's so personal with Mike Vrabel. And, it's also interesting on a media level, of course, too, with Diana Rossini. But has it been awkward, Mike?
Yeah, I would say unpleasant would be a word that I would use and say would come to mind. I think brief, but maybe the first week, it was really a media story more than it was a football story, because, look, two consenting adults, if you are to believe that there was a relationship there, these are two consenting adults, married, but, whatever. We don't know the backstories or anything like that. But then when it became clear, I reported early on, some of the players were like, what's happening here? Why are we talking about this? Like this guy tells us, oftentimes, make good decisions on and off the field. And was he making good decisions? But I would say, and then, of course, he misses the third day of the draft, which is unheard of. I still can't find an example of a coach willingly not being there. The team pushed back a little bit. I think there was like, why are you guys covering this story? I think there was some of that. I think, which made it more uncomfortable. But I would tell you the last month or so, the energy has shifted, and everybody's kind of gotten off that. Not that it still doesn't – it's still there, obviously, but, there's been nothing new. And based on what we've seen at practice and from the people that I've talked to behind the scenes, Vrabel's back to being Vrabel. And, that's probably the most important thing for the organization and for the football team, is that your coach is as dialed in as he was – last year when you helped resurrect the program.
Mike, was there a moment through this, or might there still be on the horizon, anything that you thought could cause the Patriots to move on him?
I mean, the only thing I could think of, would be that when all this stuff came out, and then more stuff came out after the initial sort of denial to Page Six, is that if he told them, hey, nothing, like, this is it, whatever he told them, and they said there's going to be no more surprises, and he said there'd be no more surprises, and the only thing that would get me to think that they would consider it is if there were more surprises, which again we haven't had any of those since the outset of the story.
Man, it always drives me nuts when you get the "why are you talking about this" retort.
Yeah,
it's the worst.
I don't subscribe to it. I had a lot of people, yell at me, fans or whatever, some of our readers, like, these are two adults. I'm like, yeah, they are. And I wouldn't cover the story if the story didn't impact football. We could all look at it. It might be a talker around the water cooler. It might be a talker on sports talk radio. But the moment, to me, it started to impact football was the moment it became the story that I had to write about often and talk about often. And not pleasant. And I didn't delve into their families and whatever. It was strictly about, this is what happened. Okay, what's it doing to the football team? And that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, I mean, I can get a little bit carried away, but whenever there's a Bills, I'm not even sure what the last one would have been. Maybe it's a long time ago, but whenever there's a thing like that and whatever it is, and fans come at you with, they think you're tearing it down. Like, they think that by talking about it, I'm causing harm to the Bills. And, like, you know what? Yeah. Can guys like yourself, Mike, or us, if I may, get some sort of benefit of the doubt for our own judgment, right? I mean, like, you're very reasonable in how you lay that out. This is where the line gets drawn. And, sometimes off the field things can be meaningful to an organization, and that's what we have to decide when we're deciding whether to talk about a thing. So I don't know. That one, like I said, always drives me crazy.
No, it definitely, there were moments where it definitely sort of went in my ear hole the wrong way. And I would say, I think some of the people on the beat did a terrible job. Like, if I'm just going to be a media columnist for a second, there are people just didn't want to do the story. So they didn't do the story. The only time they did anything with the story is if it was clear, like, we were talking about it, we were asking questions, and it was getting answers, and you'd be negligent in your job by not writing it up. But they were aggregators. They weren't the people that asked questions. And, maybe their relationship will be better with the organization and some of the people in it, or Mike in particular, because they didn't ask questions. I don't really – I mean – that's ridiculous to me, but if that's the way it is, that's the way it is. Yeah. I have no problem. I'm not trying to, like, wear the hero cape. Like, I'm just doing my job. So, yeah, that did burn me a little bit. I think that just several people who are in important positions decided to sit this out, and I don't think that that's good business and good journalism, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm. Mike, one last thing from me, at least, on this topic. Do you have any sense, or do you get any sense from the Patriots themselves whether they're bracing for this to be like every Wednesday around the conference call, opposing markets, like, after games, like that it's every city's going to be, similar questions? Or do you think maybe, will they, we've seen media relations people step in and steer. We just watched the Vegas Golden Knights, put Carter Hart in a bubble, basically. Like, you're not asking them about what happened in London, Ontario in 2018. Are they bracing for, like, this to be, like, sort of a tour of the country, so to speak, when they go?
Well, I would say, for starters, that wonderful conference call that we used to have, that sort of went the way of the dodo bird about 5 or 6 years ago, in terms of, I think Mike did one last year with the Tennessee media, which was obvious because it's, he had past relationships.
Wow.
But that's sort of gone. Okay. I would say that they'd be foolish not to acknowledge that there are going to be people that are going to come in there and ask questions when we're on the road. Realize there's probably going to be an element in the stands, or, that Mike might get harassed. There might be signage, whatever. Like, that's just part of it. You created it. I'm sure they'll be mad about it, but, like, there's nothing you can do about it. If the rules allow signs to be brought in, or chants or whatever, they're probably going to get some of those.
With Mike Giardi, Boston Sports Journal. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here on WGR. Well, Mike, let's talk football. So here come the Patriots off a Super Bowl appearance. And, You know, I feel like I'm having the same conversation about them every time, which is just like, but the schedule last year. They were good, but the schedule was so easy. How much for you does that tell you the story of last year's team? Like, is it a team that overachieved? Is it a team that just had a pretty much a joyride? I mean, they had to be pretty good to do what they did.
Yeah. I give them a ton of credit because I think the schedule, again, Patriot fans will rail against this, and some other outlets would too. Like, you beat who's in front of you, and to their credit, they never had that slip up. You know, they won 16 out of 17 games, and there was probably 4 or 5 of those in there that, the trap game, that sort of concept, and they didn't allow that to happen. They, in many cases, they actually overwhelmed those teams. So I think there was a part of Vrabel used the line at one point, I told the players, sometimes you have to believe before you see it. And I think the team sort of bought into that notion, like, hey, even at the 1-2 start, like, we're doing some really good things. It's happening. The foundation we laid in the spring and the summer is happening. And then when it took off, it was sort of like, this guy's a genius. Like he was right. We can do this. And so, like I said, I give them a ton of credit for the way they mentally handled a lot of what happened. And I think they got a lot better as a football team over the course of the year too, which, that's what you're aiming for. Belichick used to say all the time, like, Brady, we want to be playing our best football after Thanksgiving. I think there was a stretch there where they did play their best football after Thanksgiving. And then, they weathered a storm in the postseason where they played one elite defense after another and managed to survive those games, even if their offense wasn't at the same level it had been during the regular season. So I guess what I would say after the whole thing and kind of going back and rewatching and going over my notes is that they're probably more talented than I gave them credit for. And now I think the roster is even better than it was. Now the schedule will be more difficult. They're no longer the sort of team that's flying under the radar. They're going to be the hunted team. And I think there'll be a little bit of a course correction, but I think it's a playoff team. And as you know, you get in the playoffs and who knows what can happen.
They weathered the storm, and they weathered 2 snowstorms in the process in the playoffs. So Bills and Patriots together, I mean, they're 1-2 in some order in every, prediction, every betting site and whatever. It really does seem hard for me to, imagine a season where it's not these 2 teams as 1 and 2 in some order, with how much backpedaling the Dolphins seem to have done, and the Jets being probably still the Jets. I mean, do you see it any other way?
Sure, multiple times. And more recently, after having watched minicamp and whatnot, we were able to be in attendance for. And to me, it's like a toss-up. You just, if you go by position, it's almost like 11 wins for the Patriots, 11 wins for the, to me, it's that even. So I think there's going to be, obviously injuries play a massive role, as they always do. Heaven forbid anything happens to either quarterback. And then you have the coaching question. Is Joe Brady, is he up to it? Because he's inheriting a football team that, even though the owner said, we don't have to win now, it's a win now, they're kind of in a win now, right? I mean, you have Josh Allen. You have some important pieces like that where you couldn't get over that quote-unquote playoff wall or playoff hump, however he phrased it. Well, you kept a guy that was part of it for at least a couple of years who couldn't help get you over that hump. So I'm really curious about, I would say the edge for me right now would have to be with the Patriots, slightly because of the coaching, because we just don't know if Joe Brady can be the head coach that they think he can be. And Jim Leonard is wildly praised across the league. It doesn't matter who you talk to, but this first time calling plays in the National Football League. So we'll see what that looks like as well.
Right. And how long it'll take them or him to find the guys he wants and the spots he wants. Because there's a lot of that here so far this offseason. We got guys putting on weight and dropping weight and changing it. So there's a lot that has to come together. Mike, we know what the Bills did going into Josh Allen's 3rd year, and that was trade for Stephon Diggs. Now, the Patriots did that last year, bringing Diggs in, not in the form he was in 2020 when he got here, but still a great year from him, I'd say, at his age. But A.J. Brown now is in the role of Diggs for Allen back in 2020. But it's also Dobbs too, and that's reminiscent of, the Bills, Cole Beasley, John Brown, eventually Diggs. What do you make of the new the two new receivers at least.
I was, I don't want to say unimpressed by Dobbs, but I think it's coming a little bit slower, at least to what we saw. We only saw 3 mandatory minicamp practices, and I want to say 3 OTAs over the course of the spring. It looks like he's still sort of figuring things out. Brown came in right away, and it was like, oh, yeah, that's A.J. Brown. The back shoulder stuff, some of the contested stuff, like boxing dudes out. He wasn't going up against Carlton Davis and Christian Gonzalez, but he looked very much like the A.J. Brown who you've seen go over 1,000 yards in, I think, 6 of his 7 seasons in the league. So there was almost like an instant chemistry between those two guys. I know they're talking about getting together again sometime in the next few weeks to kind of continue building on that. But that looked impressive. And there's more depth at that position, I think, than they've had. You guys obviously know Matt Collins. He had a really good year last year. They're still high on Pop Douglas. They're high on Kyle Williams, their 3rd-round pick from a year ago. So they feel like they have more there to throw at you than probably they have, 15 years, 20 years, maybe going back to the 2017. And I'm not comparing the two by any stretch of the imagination, but sort of just in terms of the amount of depth and like proven NFL players that they have, that's sort of where the comparison comes from for me.
Mike, maybe that answers this question. I wonder if Drake May has like a level up that he can reach. Bulldog mentioning Diggs for Allen. Diggs, I think, deserves a lot of credit for Allen's ascent. I mean, he launched at that point, and now he's a superstar in the league. May is 23. Allen is 30 now. So is Mahomes. Burrow and Jackson are coming up on 30 themselves. Like there's a spot here for May in this conference if he's on that level to maybe outlast those guys. That's sort of the long-term view. But if he has another level up to go, what would it be? Like, where would you think, or where do the Patriots say they want to see better from him, if anywhere?
I'm glad you asked that, because I actually just wrote about this, and it's something that they're challenging him with, and it's about more control at the line of scrimmage. I think they felt like in the postseason, and look, there were other issues at play. The offensive line was hurt and underperforming, et cetera. But Josh McDaniels was great about giving his quarterbacks the answers, but maybe they didn't feel like he had a full enough grasp on that. So they really, I think, in this offseason, instead of this just being sort of the teaching camp, they're, as they always tell you, we're not really evaluating, we're just teaching at this time of year. They really pushed him. There was a number of times during the course of the minicamp where they would have him run tempo. He'd get to the line of scrimmage, and then they wouldn't give him a play. And then with 18 seconds left on the clock, it was up to him to call the play. So he's got to read the defense. He's got to call the play. He's got to get him in the right, you got to know what your personnel is, because we're not running people in and out. This is what you got. You got to figure out how to make this work. And I think that's been a real thing for them, is to sort of push him mentally so that, if he encounters a Seattle defense again, which he will in week 1, but that sort of thing, like, do you have better answers where you can almost calm yourself down in those moments and not need Josh or Mike to do that for you?
I think last year at this time, there were probably plenty of column inches written and lots of words spoken about Will Campbell's arms. Going into year 2.
Didn't get longer. It didn't get any longer.
They didn't find a way to make that happen?
No.
How stable is that situation in your view, Mike?
Vrabel loves him. So I think they look at him and say the player he was before the knee injury and the player that he was after, and that was basically the playoff run when you all saw him get beat on the regular in the playoffs. They feel like he's more the guy that you saw before the injury, when I would say for his rookie year, he was fine, like probably middle of the pack at left tackle. And they feel like he's stronger, he's healthier. There were some things they obviously want him to work on. He's one of those guys, if you're into line play, he's always been able to get away with, because he's such a good athlete, of almost waiting until the last minute receiving guys, and then he's able to drop his butt down and anchor and sort of hold guys off. Well, it was a little harder to do at the National Football League level because everybody's just that much better. And I think that's part of the thing they wanted to work on with him and get better. They did draft Caleb Lomu in the first round. That's a left tackle. By the way, looks more like a left tackle, like body-wise, than Will Campbell does. Got longer arms, wider shoulders, the whole 9 yards. He's already been thrown into the mix as the right tackle, with Morgan Moses kind of being in and out during the course of the spring, which is typical for someone 35 years old. They're managing, but he looks like he fits. We'll see what it looks like again when the pads come on, because Will Campbell looked awesome before the pads came on too. And then, you deal with the variety of challenges that you get. But I think there are people in the building that think if Loma was one of the best five and his best spot is left tackle, then maybe Will moves. But for now, I think in Vrabel's mind, it's Will Campbell at left tackle until he declares otherwise.
Couple of quick ones for you, Mike, before we run out of time. Are you surprised they got the opener in Seattle?
I think, yeah, you know what, and I don't care what they say. To me, that's all about Vrabel's story. Because I don't think anybody was clamoring for Seattle Patriots again. That wasn't a very good football game. We've had Super Bowl rematches before where you're like, that was a great game. That's going to be awesome to see them roll it back and have this chip on their shoulder. That game was a pretty one-sided affair. I don't know. They can tell me what they want, but I'm pretty sure that had something to do with Vrabel being in the news all off season.
I was thinking about that as a reason why it wouldn't get picked, but maybe I had it wrong.
Ratings, you get mom, who doesn't pay attention to this or whatever. Like, ooh, that Vrabel. Like, oh, I'm going to watch this. I don't know. I don't know how they go through it, but to me, that was a clear influence.
Okay, and quickly, Mike, how about the running backs? Henderson is a rookie. I think maybe it's surprising to think that he had more yards. I mean, like 3-2 by ratio over Stevenson, but very little work in the postseason. What did he have? Like maybe 2 touches against Denver or something like that, Henderson?
Yeah.
And he had that big game against the Bills, too, where he scored a couple of long ones. What do you think they want to do there?
I mean, I think they'd like for Henderson to be the 55-45 guy maybe with Stevenson. I think they still like Ramondre value, the physical nature with which he runs. But, Henderson's big problem was he became such a liability in pass protection, which is crazy because, like, coming out of Ohio State, that was, like, at the top of the list of things that he did well, that he basically became sort of unplayable, or damn near close to it, certain plays or whatnot. And they'd like more consistency there from a running style. He did have 4 or 5 long touchdown runs this year, and last year you can't take those out of the equation, but like the down-to-down consistency and getting what's there or maybe getting a little bit more, that didn't happen nearly enough for them. So I think big sort of off-season for him to sort of study, figure out how to slow himself down, because I think sometimes he's just too fast to the hole, and they're hoping that little increased patience will lead to, him getting those extra yards that he didn't get last year.
10 total touchdowns for Henderson, but just 2.5 yards per carry in the playoffs for New England. Even with that snow, he couldn't pull off 3 yards per carry. But I like him in fantasy. Okay.
That's smart. That's smart. There'll be, with that speed, he's guaranteed to break 4 or 5. I think pretty much every year.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Mike. Any questions for us?
No, what do you guys do? Like, well, first of all, did management reach out yet, or are you going to lose the shirts?
I am not looking at my phone. They're going to have to.
I'm telling you, I think this is my advice. Just lose the shirts and see what happens.
Yeah, well, a lot of people disagree with you, I think.
My family.
We know this one better.
I think, Mike.
We know ourselves better than you might know us in this area. Okay. Thanks for your time as always, Mike. Enjoy the rest of your summer.
Appreciate it, guys.
Appreciate you. Mike Giardi, Boston Sports Journal. Bulldog, you drafting more Stevenson? He's cheaper than Henderson. How are you playing it? I'll hang up and listen. Big fan.
I wouldn't waste my time with Stevenson. I think Henderson ascends and takes the lion's share of the carries there. Yep.
All right.
There's a take.
Stevenson is off your board.
Yep.
As Jacob Sanderson will put it, maybe tonight on ADP Chasing this very way, I don't even see his name. When I look at the queue, I don't even see his name.
No. Dead to me.
I never pick him because he's never on my rankings at the area. Somebody takes him already. I just never see his name. I like picking Stevenson, but you might be right. 803-0550 for us. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here. This is WGR.
The Buffalo Bills have released their 2026 training camp schedule. They're only going to be at St. John Fisher for 7 days, and day one, it is Wednesday, July 29th, while the return of the blue and red practice, that'll be Saturday, August 8th at 7 p.m. over at Highmark Stadium. And for more on that news, we do have pieces up at our website, WGR550.com. Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice released from jail today after serving his 30-day sentence for probation violation. And the Saints, they are officially bringing back 8-time Pro Bowl edge rusher Cam Jordan on a 1-year incentive-laden deal. To the NHL, changes coming for the Vegas Golden Knights. The team did announce earlier this afternoon that John Tortorella would not be continuing on as coach. Tortorella, of course, did take over for Bruce Cassidy late in the season. He helped guide Vegas to the Cup final, but ultimately they do fall to Carolina in 6 games. And we did have a trade in the NHL today. The Flyers get goaltender Joseph Woll and defenseman Simone Benoit. And to do that, they send Toronto a 3rd and 26, goalie Samuel Harrison, and defenseman Emile Andre. In the World Cup, France leads Senegal 1-0. We're about midway through the second half. We're into our hydration break for the second half. At 6 p.m., Iraq versus Norway. That game's outside of Boston. 9 p.m., the 2022 champs Argentina. They begin their titled events in Kansas City. They take on Algeria. And then for all you night owls, at midnight, Austria. They take on Jordan. That game in San Francisco. While in baseball, Bison's home versus the Knights at 6:35. That game can be heard on our sister station, the Bet 1520. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Headlines. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Zach Jones for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
I guess what I would say after the whole thing and kind of going back and rewatching and going over my notes is that they're probably more talented than I gave them credit for. And now I think the roster is even better than it was. Now the schedule will be more difficult. They're no longer, the sort of team that's flying under the radar. They're going to be the hunted team. And I think there'll be a little bit of a course correction. I think it's a playoff team. And as you know, you get in the playoffs and who knows what can happen.
Mike Giardi, our recent guest from the Boston Sports Journal. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here. Thanks for listening. We have Jeremy Kahn out of Baltimore scheduled for tomorrow. I think probably Sal will be on tomorrow. Thursday, we have Matt Larkin from the World of Hockey.
Daily Faceoff is his outlet now. Yeah.
And Matthew Collar also will join us on Thursday.
And Brian intermittently here,
Brian
right?
tomorrow.
It's U.S. Open week, right? So I got to make my picks. I assume we're talking to Brian at 6 tomorrow for that?
6 tomorrow.
And then we usually will talk to him on a Thursday or a Friday when a major's going on. So
you know where they're playing the Open?
Shinnecock.
Wrong. New York Golf Course.
Oh, yeah, I see what you did
For
there.
this week, it's called New York Golf Course.
Yeah. These hydration breaks are all the rage here in the World Cup soccer. That golf course needed hydration breaks the last time the U.S. Open was played there. They were watering, I don't remember what green, maybe you do, 7 green. I just remember there was a green that was getting watered in between groups because it had become just unplayable through the weekend.
Yeah, I love that when I'm playing golf.
Yeah.
Unplayable greens. I need it to be harder.
Right.
I need golf to be harder.
Right.
It's too easy. John is with us. Hello, John.
Hey, guys. How you doing today?
Good, John. Thanks for calling.
Yes, I had a couple. I'm kind of interested in your opinion. I've been watching your show for quite a while. I don't usually call in, but one thing, maybe I'm just a pessimistic one here, but is it being pessimistic to think that this great relationship between Brady and Allen is going to be the difference this year? Allen's not really been the problem, right? And now you bring in a new defensive coordinator who's trying to use players that were drafted for a different system. And this is supposed to – and then we look at the brutal schedule that we have. I don't really see where the Bills are going to be. I really don't see them going better than 11 and 6, maybe 10 and 7. So I just was curious about your opinion of that. And also – when you guys talk about GMs and making decisions, do you feel that sports radio, the way we have call-in shows now that we never used to have in the past, or at least over the last 15 years or whatever, that affects GM's decision-making? I mean, if they're going to make a decision, say on Alex Tuck, at some level, they've got to have in the back of their mind, man, if I don't get this right, it's going to be – I'm going to have to listen to this for years. So I was just curious. I'll hang up and listen. Thanks, guys.
I love that question. I could go all day on that question.
Yeah, I'll take a. Well, you love it so much, you take a first crack at it. I mean, I have something that I doubt will change what I'm going to say.
I have always said I think of Darcy Regier first for this. I've always said that no, these general managers should not decide things based on the fans. And I'm going to take the caller talking about like talk shows or hosts as the fans. I think that's really what it is. No, it shouldn't come down to pleasing the fans, but I think you should always want to know what they're saying. And Regier, like a lot of people in that job, I think, want to tell you that they don't listen, that they don't pay attention to that. And I can see why, because it can be pretty harsh. I mean, very. But I still think in that job, you should have some feel for which way the wind is blowing with the fan base. And by the way, that's not always evident through our show. I mean, we might not get another call today. We might talk about Alex Tuck for an hour, but nobody necessarily will call in to discuss it. And so how much of a sample size are we working with in the first place when I'm the GM trying to decide what to do? Think about Brandon Beane and receivers. You know he had heard a lot of that, and it got to him that day. Anyway, I think it's not like fans should do the job for you. I'm pretty sure that almost never happens, but I think it's important. It should be considered important. If I owned the team, I'd want to make sure my managers knew what it sounded like out here.
Yeah, I've always agreed with that. That like you have an idea what your customers are saying. You can dismiss it because you're doing the job and you've got your decisions to make and your reasons for doing it, and you have to believe in that, and you shouldn't, I think, turn your back on what you think is right and what your team of people are telling you is right based on what a call-in show or a host sounds like. Here's an example of why it can be very bad to do. Remember last summer? Like, I even made a spectacle of Kevin Adams talking about Samuelson in such a way that, like, he was offended by the trade rumors, and, like, he did not seem to realize that the fan base had really soured on this player. And if he had known, or maybe he did know and just didn't care or what, but if he had reacted to that and moved him, bought him out, like, I never said, like, buy him out, but I was done counting on him as being any kind of an important piece for this hockey team, which would have been extremely bad. Like, if Adams had reacted to what the fan base sounded like about Matthias Samuelsson, the Sabres would be out a $4.5 million hockey player who's playing like a $10 million hockey player for like the next 4 years. So you got to be very careful, I think. So that's why you can't, not to say that the fans or me or you are always going to be wrong about things like that.
Let's hope.
There's a case where I was, and the GM just ignored it, and they're way better off for it. So I don't think anyone worth their salt in that kind of job would react to what a host is saying. Myself. The front of that call, if we're good on that subject, the front of the call, like the Allen Brady relationship is not going to improve this team. The defense eventually, I think, will improve this team. I'm not looking at Joe Brady to get more out of Josh Allen. I'd like Josh Allen. I don't think I need Joe Brady to do this. He's had opportunities in a lot of these playoff games to come through at the end and hasn't. So that at some point hopefully will change, but I don't think it will have anything to do with Joe Brady. I guess it could. I mean, he's the new coach. He'll get credit if it changes, I guess, which is fine. I'm not going to throw myself in front of that bus. But I think the bigger question for this team, to me, is how quickly that defense can even be at a middle of the league level with the new schemes, new personnel. Does the personnel all fit? All that kind of thing. Like, I'm sort of bracing for, like, it's not going to sink their season, I don't think, but I'm bracing for, no, we really didn't have our guys. Because I think that's going to be sitting there all year. And it makes sense. I mean, it takes time to get exactly the kind of personnel with maybe some different traits than the guys you inherited.
I got into this a little bit yesterday, just trying to articulate what it is the Bills need to be better at, because I think we've been through so many, these playoff losses are so close. And is it one thing? I mean, we can't even necessarily agree on whether it's more the offense or the defense in these games that's more to blame. So that's tough because I think I need one play. A few of these losses have been one thing, whether that's 13 seconds or the play to Kincaid where Kansas City came up with a blitz that the Bills didn't know what to do with. Then you have, last year and all the little things that could have changed that outcome with Denver. So it sounds like a cop-out almost, but what I need this year is for that to be different. And that's not one thing. That's just sort of an execution point, offense or defense, when it comes down to the end. And that's where I think Brady can be a positive difference maker after years of watching McDermott's teams not be able to pull it off, is if Brady can – I mean, this is not a given. He was on the staff already, of course, but if he can come up with, all right, here, a version of what Spagnuolo did as their defensive coordinator, Kansas City. I mean, it doesn't have to be that he's be the head coach for this, and so maybe I shouldn't give it the idea too much credit, but just like, all right, we're in this position again. It's the divisional round. It's the AFC Championship. There's 2 minutes to go. Here.
I got a thing they're not going to see coming.
That's right. And again, well, he could have done that before, but that's what I'm hoping ends up being the story with the Bills. Because even if they do win only 11 games, like the caller suggested, or even 10, probably they're in the playoffs. And then you got to do that.
Right.
Whatever that is, you've got to do that to make the story end differently than it has. Man, anybody want a piece of that second question? I don't know. Like I love talking about that. Not like, it's not ego. It's not like us. It's just more all of us, the fan base.
Yep.
Who was I talking to about something similar to this just recently? I got to think about it. It got to Marshawn Lynch. We ended up talking about Marshawn Lynch. And pressure built from the outside.
Yep.
Negatively toward Marshawn Lynch. Now he's America's dad. But, hey, at that time, It wasn't pretty around here. And I know somebody with the Bills blamed us for the fact that they ended up trading him. But, we didn't trade him. They did. I don't know. There is some place for that kind of thinking that the caller asked about, that, fans can get loud and that can matter. 803-0550 if you want to join us. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here, WGR. Welcome back. France 2, Senegal 0. Late. This appears to be the first game in a couple of days, not likely to end in a tie. Non-derogatory. I like ties. Not only do I not hate them, I like them. Some games deserve to end in ties.
I mean, I would have liked to see a late goal or two yesterday watching all four of the matches, but I can't say it was preferred that it ended up the way it ended up, but it hardly dampened I kept watching. I was like, oh, no goals here. Fine. I enjoyed a full day of soccer yesterday.
I might even call myself Mr. Ties.
Mr. Ties.
I'm fine with it. Games like Netherlands, Japan, that deserve to be a tie. Japan scores late on the header that goes in off a different head. And, okay, tie. Fair. And then Cabo Verde tying Spain. I mean, that was not an even game.
No.
But
no.
What it ended up, the tie affords Cabo Verde like this great moment. And if they just play it out, they're probably losing. If it goes to 30 minutes of extra time and then penalties, maybe not. But it's not like they're getting any chances at all to score a goal. Right. And Spain is getting dozens.
They had maybe one of the only shots they had in the second half very, very late. They had maybe the best scoring chance they had all game. And by that, I just mean a guy kicked the ball right to the goalie. but it was like, wow, that was close.
Almost. He could have missed it.
As much as Spain, I think, was really tested in the match. But, yeah, it's all good. I'm just loving the scenes of the fans marching through the street. It just seems really, really cool, and it's working. My wife sat with me for half of the day yesterday, just sort of marveling at who do we have now? Where is this game? Just the spectacle of it is, I think, pretty awesome.
Totally, I love it. I said yesterday, as somebody that's usually really negative toward how sports is always stuffing more stuff down our throats, just added playoff teams, and there's just more everything all the time, more games, more playoffs, more wild cards, more streaming services. It's always just going, that direction. This one, from 32 teams to 48, cool. I'm not as loyal to it, where I'm going to be sort of a traditionalist or anything.
Yep.
I don't want the NCAA basketball tournament to be 78 teams. I mean, I thought 64 was enough. Mm-hmm. Maybe too many. But now we have more teams than that. More hockey games next year, right? 84.
Right.
We needed more. Who says that? You know what NHL needs? More games. No one literally ever has said that. We got it. But this, I don't care. It's not as serious for me, so good.
Yep.
Mike Schopp and the Bulldog. We'll be right back.
The Buffalo Bills released their 2026 training camp schedule. They're only going to be at St. John Fisher for about 7 days. The schedule was 10 days last year, and the first one will be Wednesday, July 29th, while the return of the blue and red practice over at Highmark Stadium is Saturday, August 8th at 7 p.m. And for more, we do have pieces up at our website, WGR550.com. Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice was released from jail today after serving his 30-day sentence for a probation violation. And the Saints, they are officially bringing back 8-time Pro Bowl edge rusher Cam Jordan on a 1-year incentive-laden deal. To the World Cup, late drama in the first game of the afternoon. And no, there's not. France has scored to make it 3-1. Senegal scored just about a minute ago to make it 2-1, but now it looks all but wrapped up with about 2 minutes left of extra time. The next game up is at 6 p.m., Iraq versus Norway. That game is just outside of Boston. 9 p.m. sees the 22 champions Argentina begin their title advance versus Algeria. That game's in Kansas City. While for you Night Owls at midnight, Austria versus Jordan over in San Francisco. While in baseball, Bison's home versus the Knights at 6:35. That game is on our sister station, the Bet 1520. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Zach Jones for West New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
It's Mike Schopp and the Bulldog.
Welcome to the Hotel Hell. Check-in time is now, check-out time is never.
It's Mike Schopp.
Does my room have cable?
No. And the sheets are made of fire.
Can I change rooms?
Sorry, we're all booked up. Hell convention in town.
And the Bulldog.
Can I have a late checkout?
I'll have to talk to the manager.
You're not the manager, even in your own fantasy?
I'm the owner. The co-owner. With Satan.
It's Mike Schopp.
Okay. Just so I understand it, in your wildest fantasy, you are in hell, and you are co-running a bed and breakfast with the devil.
And the Bulldog.
Yeah, but I haven't told you my salary yet.
Go.
$80,000 a year.
On WGR, Sports Radio 550.
So yesterday you said you were immersed in World Cup.
Correct.
A whole lazy day of watching games. So you didn't listen to us at all.
I did not. I saw, we're on YouTube now.
Or
so
watched them.
I saw a couple of clips.
Oh, yeah?
But I didn't even watch them. I mean,
Wow.
Mike Schopp says da 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 da. So I know why are the Sabres being disrespected or something to that effect.
That's what I was going to bring up.
I know I saw that, and then I saw a clip of you talking to Tyler about Josh Allen. But anyway, the Sabres thing. I took a screenshot the last time I haven't looked. I'm assuming you looked yesterday, thus the conversation. They're like in the middle of the pack as of before the cup was won. I haven't looked since the cup was won.
13th.
I doubt it's changed. Yeah, okay. I saw them around there, like in the mid-teens, and I was kind of surprised by that.
Well, I am definitely surprised, but I'm not yet not blaming myself.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I'm right to be
I understand.
miffed by it. That Anaheim in New Jersey had shorter Stanley Cup winning odds than the Sabres, I didn't quite get. And that Ottawa did by a lot.
Right.
What's Ottawa?
That's the one.
What have they ever done?
Like Anaheim, the strength of the conference, like Colorado's there, but maybe this is a way of looking at the West and going, everybody else is pretty much equal, except for Colorado. So that might drive up a team like Anaheim's but New Jersey in the East, in a stacked East, and Ottawa, I'm not sure I can really rectify that.
The Sabres were 5th in their own division in the odds.
Right.
By a distance.
After winning the division.
Yeah.
Last year. I mean, I know everyone expects Alex Tuch to leave at this point, but could that really be why? That can't be why. It's got to be more. I'm not saying it's no factor. Maybe it's that coupled with, let's see if you can do this for another year in a row. Nice story. It wasn't just a hot month. They were hot from December through, into May, for crying out loud. So that should prove something, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of like how skeptical I would be if I were out of the market, and had, been impressed, but still, it's only half a season. I don't know. Do you really, can you really be counted on with Florida bouncing back, with, whatever, with the stacked division? I still think it's a slap. I feel slapped. So, and I'm not sure if I'm right either, because maybe some skepticism is warranted.
Maybe. There's always the franchise history piece, or even if it's not exactly about Tuck the player, it might be more just the history of the Sabres is guys leave. So one way or another, but I don't know. It bugs me because really half a season, call it a full season, all 82 games, they finished first, whatever the order was, they did that. They won their first round series, not in a sweep, but they were the better team in that series and deserved to win. And then the second round comes down to one goal. If they win game 7, if the Malenstein goal counts, is it different? I don't know. What I sat here yesterday trying to figure it out loud. Like, just what is it that they don't have that looks right? What looks wrong about them for them to be 28-1 when Ottawa is 16-1? And when Anaheim and New Jersey are 25-1? What's the problem? What's the gap here about? And I wondered if this doesn't have to be it. But like I said yesterday, I wonder if like they need a star that they don't have. Like a star. That would probably matter to the betting markets and expectations if they somehow added, I don't even like Robert Thomas. I mean, not guys that just like hockey fans know, but somebody that even transcends that. Stamkos. McDavid. Somehow. I mean, just do they need that? Obviously, the goal of the organization is not to be like first in the odds.
Right.
The Bills are the champions of that.
Right.
And what's that been? I mean, that's been great, but there's no banner. That's not the goal of the organization. They're not going to try to do something this offseason that gets them up that list. But there's something about them. I think you can take these odds seriously enough to ask that question. What is it that the outside world thinks they're missing? To whatever extent they're thinking about it. This is something that if people are actually betting on it and people who are making these odds, they would be thinking about it. It wouldn't just be at random.
Well, I mean, I have a hard time believing that what happened to the Sabres 19 years ago, after the last time the league saw the Sabres, I think, as the level of contender they just were this past season, is then. I mean, I know they won the division in 2010, but I certainly do not remember what the odds were, because gambling was illegal then.
The dark ages.
But we know what happened after that. I mean, they won the President's Trophy. They had the best season, in the league, and then the co-captains left. So, like, is there a gambling are they correlating, well, an alternate captain is about to be a free agent. He may leave, and they'll never recover or something? Like, is that I can't believe 20 years ago matters.
No, me neither.
Right? So I just wanted to talk it out just so I could dismiss it, because I think it deserves to be dismissed. I do not think that that's it. Like, you mentioned the reputation of the franchise. We all know that. I don't think the people setting the odds are thinking, they traded Lindy Ruff away after he was their captain. Like, no. So,
like, is Ottawa in a better position, actually, than the Sabres are? Does that make sense?
No, it really doesn't. It really doesn't. Because they don't have. I mean, they've got a goalie who's won hardware in Ullmark. They have that, But, I don't know. What did that afford them any advantage this year? I mean, they got swept. They played against a team that won the cup too. So, work that in there. No, that's the thing about it. Like if Buffalo and Ottawa and even Montreal, to an extent, Montreal won one more series than I did. If they were all sort of in the same, area, I would understand it because they're all pretty. Ottawa's been in the playoffs now 2 years in a row, so I guess that gives them some leg up, at least as far as believing they can make the pool of teams in the playoffs again, because they've done it. They demonstrated they could do it 2 years in a row. The Sabres have not had the opportunity to do that yet. I wonder how much of it is just skepticism that congratulations on everything going right for you, and now go do it again. And we're not ready to believe that you just will. I don't know. I don't know what else to make of it. But it's been odd to me the minute I saw it. I'm not usually you prompt me to go, hey, have you seen these? But I looked at some point after they got knocked out. I looked. I'm like, how in the world are they in the middle? I don't see this team as a team that should be in the middle of that. I don't think they should be the top favorite or anything, but lagging behind Ottawa that much is weird.
Well, I guess this all adds up to that you should bet it.
Right, of course. Right.
If we're right.
It always ends there.
And, they won't win the Stanley Cup and we'll lose. But that's normal. Objectively, that's what I would be thinking here is, who's good value. But you can get twisted up. Like, why wouldn't, again, a division winner with that, that result, playoffs included, get more respect than this? Alex Tuck is fine, but I can't believe he would be meaningful to this, really. You can, and this is with or without making it about the odds. Just in our conversations about this, you can like the Sabres just as much for who they have coming than what they would be losing in him. Mm-hmm. You could think that it's a net positive.
You could. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily agree out of hand, but yeah, you could. Sure.
Anaheim.
I don't know. I don't know what to really make of it.
What's Anaheim?
Anaheim there's nice young pieces there. San Jose's got more of them, but I think Anaheim. I think both of those teams are coming, but I don't see them as better bets than the Sabres.
Ottawa 16-1, Buffalo 28-1, Toronto 40-1. The Sabres are by numbers as close to the Leafs as they are to the Senators. Okay. Did this year even happen?
Right.
I don't know. As a fan like yourself, I might just be a little bit too close to the sun. Try to, but I just objectively struggle to understand it. Do they need a star? Do they need something? Whether that's for the odds or just for the team. What is it that they're supposed to do? Nah. Well, keep asking. Wade is next. Hello.
Hello. Oh, well, regarding the Sabres odds, is it not just as simple as analytically and statistically they overperformed? You had I don't know the analyst's name, but you had him on a few times and over he's saying, they're scoring a lot of goals and not a lot of shots. The goaltending overperformed, as we see, as they had the worst goaltending in the playoffs. And then Ottawa, just their goaltending was horrible. So,
Yep. Mm-hmm. Maybe that might be as good a guess as any.
Yeah, Greg Wyshynski, I think you're thinking of. Who made the first time he was on, once they got good, he was sort of, I don't want to be this guy, and then that softened a little, but it was always kind of still there, that they were on a PDO heater, basically.
Which is shooting percentage plus save percentage.
Right.
So if you're over 100, you're, not everybody likes to put it this way, but you're lucky. Because there's a lot of luck in those stats. And the Sabres were fourth in the league. They were the fourth luckiest team by that. 5-on-5, if you want to call it that. The least lucky team by the same metric was New Jersey. And that's a team above them in the cup odds. I don't know, maybe. I didn't think it was that dramatic. For me, and I'm somebody that looks at that every year, even when the Sabres are not in it, which is most years. I want to see just maybe simply for betting purposes or for the pool that I run. All right, well, It was Washington. Was it last year even? Washington, where I don't see this going well in the playoffs, and maybe they won a round, but then went out. Like they're those teams. It's usually a pretty good track record.
They did, and I bet against them even winning a round.
Okay,
because of what you're saying, I saw that's not a good team. All year, I thought that's not a good team.
Those teams tend to be A, bad playoff bets, and B, their coach wins the Jack Adams Award. Because the benevolent hockey broadcasters don't understand somehow this element. I mean, Greg did.
I think it's really hard. Like the problem with the PDO heater theory to me is that I have a hard time settling for 5 or 6 months is a heater. I think at some point you just sort of stop waiting for that to drop out and go, okay, they shoot, they're more selective in their shots. Therefore, they're not getting as many shots. Therefore, their shooting percentage is higher because they're good, they're talented, they're beating the goalie when they have those selected shots. And to me, that doesn't. It can be fluky, but I don't think this is where we could run into, like you said. How'd you say we're too close to the sun? Like maybe we just aren't objectively seeing it. But I have a hard time believing. Oh, it was like the 10-game win streak in November back in 18 or whatever that was. Like it was fluky, it was overtimes, it was shootouts. And even as it was happening, we were loving the excitement, but also like, I don't know, this is going to be sticky. And it turned out, of course, it wasn't. And we all know that now. This was like, okay, December, January, February. It just kept going. And maybe it's an all-time heater, the heater to end all heaters. I think it's probably that they were good, but maybe there is skepticism about it because of that notion that they had the goalies performed above their head. The playoffs sort of right-sized that, and when it did, they went out. I don't know. That's a little flimsy to me.
They don't seem to respect that Zach Benson led the NHL in postseason penalty minutes.
Right.
They don't seem to care about that. They don't seem to prioritize that. Who was the only Sabre to shoot 100% in the playoffs?
I happen to have the playoff stats page open, but no, I'm not. I only see the top 6 names, and there's no way somebody on that.
Nope.
That high. So
1 shot on goal, 1 goal.
I'm trying very hard not to. Well, so who scored that was not? I don't know.
You'll get it if I give you the time. You'll get it. You'll think of it.
Yeah, just tell me.
Metza.
Oh, okay, right.
Game 6 in Montreal.
Sure, right.
For 8-3.
Yes. Right.
1 shot, 1 goal. Again, he's over here going, I mean, I could have helped you.
Right.
I only score literally every shot I take.
Yeah.
Just, maybe next year you'll why don't you think of that next time?
Yeah.
Well, the odds, again, and we've said it, are just a way into the conversation about their roster, whether you want to use them or not. How do they move forward and become a team that wouldn't be 13th in the odds after being whatever they were in points? What were they in points? I mean, top 5. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
109 points.
Yeah.
So there is some sort of a disconnect. They were 4th in points.
Okay.
Colorado, Carolina, Dallas, Buffalo. 4th in points, 13th in the odds, with mostly, if not entirely, the same roster. Maybe you mentioned goaltending a couple times. So did the caller. He said worst goaltending in the playoffs. Is that actually literally true?
Goals saved above expected took a hit in the playoffs for them. I don't know where they ended up, and what metric he's even referring to, but I think they did not hold up to the standing that they had during the regular season.
I mean, it's way up there, if not number 1 on the list of interesting aspects of this offseason and what they want to do, because they have 3 goalies under contract, and the question is always for me, how do they think it went? Did it go well enough? It's one thing to say, it's easy to say yes in terms of the season overall. I mean, again, 4th in the league in points. How could you complain about anything, really? But now we're talking about winning the Stanley Cup,
right,
and their odds and the chances of doing that in a very tough, historically tough division. They might not think that they are good enough there.
It's one thing to say that was it definitely was I think it was a strength of theirs this year. The numbers tell you that during the regular season. But yeah, do they talk themselves into that was great, but we're trying to do something better than just have a great regular season and be 2nd and 10th or whatever they were, Lyon and Luukkonen respectively, in goals saved above expected or whatever. The thing you're maybe going to be confronted with right away is that you just watched Carolina win the Cup with basically Colton Ellis. I mean, Bussy is older, which maybe even in a way makes him more of a long shot to ever get the shot he got, but he got in there. And it wasn't just that he got in the playoffs. I mean, he led them in wins during the regular season, which nobody saw coming. But injuries happened, and they had a guy step in and got hot. And even with that, it took them until injury. That was performance and then injury, I guess, right? I mean, Anderson got pulled. Bussy took over and never came out. And then it later was revealed that Anderson was ailing. So I don't know which came first. Doesn't matter. He got in, and so if I'm the Sabres, and I don't know, even Vegas, I mean, Carter Hart has pedigree. He was a first-round pick and was, thought to be a kind of a phenom. And then, of course, his career had been sidetracked. But he jumps in and, rides them all, or they ride him all the way to the final. So I don't know. Do I need, these playoffs, I don't think tell you need Connor Hellebuck on your team.
This is always the question.
You could think you need to be better than what you had, but really it was just a different guy that's at the level your guys are at or below even, and it works. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know where they're going to come down on it, because to me, Kekalainen could want to just swing really big. I don't know. For anything.
It might be his style
to
do so.
And it might even be his style that, I want to do this. Okay, I can't do that. I want to do this. All right, I can't do that. And maybe goalie is 3rd or 4th on the list, but 1 and 2 crap out. Maybe you get to, all right, let's package up some stuff and get a 34-year-old $10 million goalie in here and see what happens. I mean, I'm making it sound pretty willy-nilly here, but I could see them getting there. Even with it being a strength, the overall on the year, goaltending made a positive difference for them.
Are their guys movable? Easily movable? Is Luukkonen movable?
I think Lyon
He's movable.
Very movable.
Me too.
He played above his level, and he's getting paid peanuts. So to me, that's easy if you wanted to do that. Luukkonen, I don't know. Luukkonen is some version of, all right, our $5 million guy didn't work. Let's try a different $5 million guy.
Yeah.
And that happens in the league. Change of scenery, whatever. We'll support him. But I don't know. So the contract isn't unreasonable, I don't think. Lions is desirable, I would say.
I agree. Thank you, Torts. You know, that first segment when I ran wild, I could have included that. I was ready to make fun of thank you, Torts. It's just incredible to be like people's jobs on social media are to come up with the graphic. Mm-hmm. I mean, I have the thing where like people wish their spouses happy birthday on Facebook. Like, why don't you just tell her? You just want to tell everybody else that you said happy birthday to your wife?
You want the credit for being thoughtful.
I just like, is that the best course of action? Is that the best way to get it? Like, come on. Thank you, Torts. And then the release about his being released, it's just like only Torts. Maybe Tortorella first reference. But the quote from the GM is just Torts, 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 Torts.
Yeah.
Let's be grown-ups. Thank you, Torts. Okay. Why don't they want him back?
Did they work the word frictionless in there?
I couldn't look at it long enough. I just couldn't stand it.
They don't want him back because they got a guy in the AHL that the GM is known for years and they even played for him in junior high. Whatever. They got a guy. They got a guy that's sort of in waiting.
They'll thank him eventually.
Right.
For his
Until
service.
Until they fire him with 7 games to go in the regular season and go find Jacques Lemaire or something.
And they ban him from ever coaching again.
Right.
After doing that. Thank you. Thank you, Tom, whatever his name is. I don't even know. 803-0550 is our number. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here, WGR.
Change coming for the Vegas Golden Knights. The team announced earlier today that John Tortorella not going to be returning as the team's coach. Tortorella, of course, taking over for Bruce Cassidy late in the season. He helped guide Vegas to the Cup final, but they do ultimately fall to Carolina in 6. We did have trades today, though, in the NHL. Earlier today, the Flyers got goaltender Joseph Woll and defenseman Simone Benoit. To do that, they sent Toronto a 3rd and 26, goalie Samuel Aronson, and defenseman Emil Andre. And then just a couple of minutes ago, Nashville officially acquired forward Ross Colton from Colorado for a goaltender prospect and 2 third-round picks in 26 and 27. To the Bills, they did release their 2026 training camp schedule. They'll only be at St. John Fisher for 7 days, with day number 1 being Wednesday, July 29th, and then the return of the blue and red practice over at Highmark Stadium. That is Saturday, August 8th at 7 p.m. For more on this, we do have a piece up at our website, WGR550.com. Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice was released from jail today after serving his 30-day sentence for a probation violation. And then the Saints, they are officially bringing back 8-time Pro Bowl edge rusher Cam Jordan on a 1-year incentive-laden deal. In the World Cup, game number 1 of the day is in the books. France takes down Senegal 3-1. Coming up in just about a half hour at 6 p.m., Iraq versus Norway. That game is just outside of Boston. 9 p.m. sees Argentina, the 2022 champs, begin their title defense. They'll take on Algeria in Kansas City. And then for you Night Owls, we do have a game at midnight. Austria taking on Jordan, who are making their tournament debut. That game is over in San Francisco. Then in baseball, Bisons, they're home versus the Knights at 6:35. And that game is over on our sister station, the Bet 1520. That's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Headlines. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Zach Jones for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
I'm really thankful that I had some unbelievable teammates around me in Toronto that I was able to talk to, express myself, my brother, my mom, dad, my wife. Some really dark moments there that thought of playing hockey was just, really tough. I just think it's really important to always check in on, your friends, your family, people around you, mental health. I think it's a thing that in this day of age now it gets talked about, but I think still overlooked in a lot of ways. A lot of us are addicted to the social media aspect of things. You're seeing a lot of the comments, seeing a lot of things about yourself. Tried to check myself out of that in the last 2 or 3 years, really. I think that's helped in a lot of ways, but you got to be able to talk about it too. People want you around. That's what I always say. People want you in their life. You should never be afraid to talk about your emotions and talk about your fears and what you're going through.
Mitch Marner, the leading scorer of the playoffs. Not enough to win Conn Smythe. It ran a little dry at the end.
Yeah.
I wonder if he could have won it had it not. But maybe they win if it hadn't run dry.
Yeah, right.
But he lost Carlson to that injury in Game 5, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Game 4, Game 5?
Yeah, 4, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it was in, I don't know. Right. Anyway, so Marner with a good message. He's not talking about the 1981 Colts in that clip. I was texting with Sal
talking about the 1981 Colts.
I love the 1981 Colts.
Because it's June 16th. So why wouldn't you be talking about the 1981 Colts?
How did I just see this somewhere? I went right to Sal. Do you know the story of the 1981 Colts? I don't know if he did or didn't, but I just basically texted him 10 times in a row to tell him about it. This is a good one. The 81 Colts were terrible. 2-14 terrible in the AFC East. The Bills were a playoff team, wild card.
Mm-hmm.
I think so were the Dolphins and Jets. I know the Jets were because the Bills played them in the wild card. So you had 3 playoff teams. This is back. The show has never sounded older than a reference to the Colts in the AFC East. 3 playoff teams, then 2-2-14s. Baltimore. The show has never sounded older than a reference to the Baltimore Colts.
Right.
And New England.
Right, New England.
The 81 Colts won their opener over New England 29-28. 1-0. Then the Bills walked in and beat them 35-3 in Baltimore. 1-1. Moving along, 1-14. Season finale, New England. The NFL did not make you play a division rival in the final game. There were 5 teams in certain divisions anyway. It wouldn't have been possible.
Right.
But as it happens, the Colts' first and last games in 1981 were both against the Patriots. And so that last game is 1-14 versus 2-13. And Baltimore wins.
29-28.
23-21.
Close.
They won 2 games that the show has really never sounded older than to say that there were 16 games in the NFL season.
Mm-hmm.
They won their first and last and lost all the rest. And their 2 wins were both against the Patriots. And the Patriots then got the first overall pick. Kenneth Sims. And the Colts picked maybe Johnny Cooks. The Colts, in the second round, picked a punter. This was not a top-notch organization.
Colts.
Ron Stark.
That's what you have to say there.
Remember Ron Stark,
Yes,
R-O-H-N.
That's a pretty – the fact that he spelled Ron, R-O-H-N, makes him stand out. But I feel like he punted – he's drafted in what year you're saying here, 81?
82.
The 82 draft?
Yes.
I feel like he played into the 2000s.
Maybe.
I don't know if that's could he have been, like, I don't know, 20, that far in? I feel like he played, like, man, forever.
This is a Levitard poll on Twitter. Haven't most punters punted into the 2000s? Has any punter ever not made it to the 2000s?
Failed to make it to the 2000s, no matter when they started their careers.
97. Pretty close.
All right.
Ron Stark.
Yeah.
So the Colts maybe didn't have it all figured out. Minus 247 point differential in 16 games. With tough. 2 wins, both against New England, that cost them the number 1 pick.
Is Burt Jones still there?
I think so.
Man, that's bad. I liked him. As much as a kid could like the quarterback of a team in the Bills division, I liked Burt Jones.
Me too. I had a poster.
Yeah. I didn't have a poster, but I liked him.
You know the look of the poster, though.
Oh, yeah.
White, like it's a Sports Illustrated poster.
Mm-hmm.
The show has never, ever.
Sports Illustrated was a sports magazine, kids. Used to be delivered
Still is.
In the mail.
Yes. Yeah. And it would come with 15 CDs for $0.01. No, tapes.
8 tracks.
It was a combo.
Keep going.
Magazine and Columbia House Records. Burt Jones. I mean, I know he did because I was just a kid and I remember him. So he was 2-13. He got the start. He started every game but one. And they lost them all. Almost.
Tough times for Burt Jones.
Yeah. 82 was the strike. I don't know if he was still there in 82. Did he make it to the 2000s? No.
No.
I'm pretty sure about.
I'm pretty sure of that. Yeah.
So who's next in the World Cup? Norway, Iraq is next. Right. Holland for Norway. That's a little weird that his name is Holland.
Yeah. It's spelled differently.
He was born in England. His name is Holland, and he plays for Norway. This guy who scored the 2 goals for USA on Friday, Balogun, do you know how he qualifies for Team USA?
I did not get the backstory.
So his mom, his family was visiting the U.S. They were in New York City, and she was in labor, like she was close to giving birth. And the story I read was really short. Like she wasn't allowed on the plane, maybe. Because she was going into labor.
It was too concerning that she might have the baby while the plane was in the air.
I don't think it necessarily was any more than that, but there might be more to the story. But anyway, they were tourists in the States, and she stayed in Brooklyn and gave birth to this guy. And they ended up staying for 2 months. I mean, you don't want to go right home with a newborn baby, right? So 2 months, and thus he is eligible to play for Team USA. Good thing.
I did not know that. Where is the family from?
London.
Okay.
And he also was, I think, eligible to play for Nigeria because maybe his father is from Nigeria.
Okay.
But USA, we win. 2 goals. First time ever scoring 4 goals in a World Cup game.
I was pretty hot Friday night.
It was great.
Really,
they really danced on that team.
They really did.
I think.
Yeah, every reaction I saw from just my friends group on social media was like, I've never seen a U.S. soccer team do this.
Right.
But just like, what?
I think that was unanimous.
Yeah.
Like that was their all-time game. And it was a year where it sounded like they were not supposed to be good. That they were just okay, in on automatic bid. So Friday at 3 is the next game. Australia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm off Friday.
Sure.
I'm on my way to a lacrosse tournament. Of course, you could have guessed that. But we're making time to go somewhere, my son and I, to watch this game.
All right.
And I was talking with Adam Krautwurst about it because we'll probably meet up with him and his son, soccer family. And I'm thinking as I'm talking to him, I think everybody is going to do the same thing on Friday. How hot is this game? Australia won too. Doesn't really matter who they're playing, I think, too much.
No, I don't. I mean, I suppose a certain, like if they were playing one of the favorites of the tournament or something, that could make it hotter. But I think Team USA's performance in the opener makes it hot enough that if they were whoever they're playing is going to be pretty hot.
Any soccer bar is absolutely completely packed. And almost any sports bar, maybe. Even though it's a Friday afternoon, it's a summer Friday, you can get off a little early, maybe.
3 o'clock. Yeah, I think places are going to be packed.
Me too, yeah.
Even places, like you said, without the reputation for being the place to go watch. In fact, that might be the place you should seek out because you already said it. Those places are mobbed, so, but I think every place will be crowded. I would expect, I mean, I'm obviously not going to do this because I'll be here. Because you're not. I mean, I was going to be here anyway, irrespective of your presence or lack thereof. But I'll be watching in here. But I would bet joints are going to be packed all over the place. You're traveling, or do you have games in the morning? Like, what is Friday?
No, it's a travel day because there are games early Saturday.
Okay.
And so we would have to leave Friday. It's not going to be reasonable to leave middle of the night on Saturday. But, yeah, this will be fun, and we'll just stop on the way and hang out with Adam and Noah and watch USA. He'll know places. He's Mr. Soccer out there. He's Mr. Soccer in a soccer town, Rochester.
That's where Rochester is, soccer town?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Hugely.
Yeah, Rhinos, long standing.
Hugely a soccer town.
Yeah.
Next game after that will be Thursday, the following Thursday against Turkey. That's a night game. In LA. Bulldogs noises, we're both thinking it. It is insufferably hot in here.
I am soaking wet. I am soaking wet. Like I'm mowing the grass, soaking wet.
I am too.
Sitting here.
I am too.
What the? And this building is very weird. I don't know how much you've walked around. Like right outside the door was cool when we walked out a moment ago during the last break. And cool. Then random some other hallway boiling hot like this. I don't know what is going on in here, but I feel gross right now.
It's not just for your takes.
Just completely gross. Like just.
This time it's not about what you said.
No, yeah, right. Like always. Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, you got to hang in there. We've got this game to watch coming up at 6 while we're talking.
Yeah.
Norway. Tonight is Argentina, and there's another midnight game tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and skip that one. What is that, Austria, Jordan?
I think so.
Or something, yeah.
I've watched some of every game so far, though.
I'm all right. Oh, well, good for you.
I'll make it.
Yeah, all right.
I'm going to probably miss games on Saturday.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I'd like that. I've got a streak going where I've watched some of them all.
Yeah, I missed a bunch on the weekend, but I really enjoyed. Yesterday was really. I'll say it again. I never ever thought, oh, what else is on? I just had one of the Fox channels on, and when they switched at one point from one to the other, and I just went right with them. It's like I don't need anything else. I'm actually enjoying the commentary in between. I'm learning things about these teams, and it was I thought as good as sports television can be for a whole day. I mean, really, I was. You could have done it for 12 hours. I didn't. I crapped out around 10, like an hour or so into the late game yesterday. I just pulled the chute. But all of it, the studio show, it was all to me fantastic.
And you have teams, right?
Yeah, I mean, Belgium was my first pick in our thing, and they got a draw yesterday. I lost with Senegal today. They were my second pick.
Against France.
Panama has not played as of yet, nor has DR Congo.
DR Congo. HR Puffin stuff. Yeah. DR Congo. Democratic Republic of the Congo. I think that feels like a little bit contradictory.
But in my other pool, the pool I'm in at the bar I hang out at, I got a win from South Korea and a draw from Bosnia-Herzegovina. So I feel like I'm in pretty good shape over there.
Actually, we're kind of a democratic republic, right?
I think
we call ourselves a democracy, but you and I can't make laws. We vote for people who can make laws, right? That's a republic.
Yes.
People, we vote for people, we elect them, and they do the thing.
I think it's been taken for granted so long that that's what it is, that you don't even need the DR. You don't need Dr. America. Of course you know what America is.
Well, there is another Congo.
Right. Which is why you have to designate one
Right.
from the other.
That's true.
We are the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Yes.
When do they play? Because I'm
They
looking
don't
forward
play.
to finding
No, they don't play,
finding
actually.
out more about them.
That's the thing. That's what's weird about picking them is they don't actually play games. It's tournaments.
Wish somebody had told me that before I chose
To
them.
me, that's really funny. They don't play. There's another Congo, right? And they don't play. What are they going to be? What are their? I mean, Curacao was like CUW or something. I don't know where that came from. What is Congo going to be?
CON, I'm going to guess. I don't think there's a conflict with another.
Why
country.
can't I find them? Got to be tomorrow. I think everybody will have played by tomorrow. No?
They're tomorrow at 1 against Portugal.
Oh, yeah. COD. COD. Where does the D come from? Democratic? COD. Portugal, Congo. Also tomorrow, Uzbekistan, Colombia. And this is not going to be the order, probably. Ghana and Panama. England. And is that Croatia?
Yep.
That's good. That's good. Those teams have made runs. Bulldog is it is so hot in here. He's right. I confirm. It is so hot in here. Anyway, you don't care about that. 803-0550 is the number. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog, WGR. The Blue Jays are in Boston tonight. Guerrero is in. Well, he's having a tough year.
Yeah.
Missed games with a back injury, but I think he's in tonight. And my White Sox are in the Bronx.
It's cute how these other sports are continuing to keep up their schedules and keep up appearances while the World Cup is just swallowing us whole.
Baseball won't quit for the World Cup. They don't take a sabbatical.
Not going to get out of the way. Yeah. Toronto's in Boston. You know who else is in Boston? Norway. That's who's in
Boston Stadium.
Sort of.
Even.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
The Blue Jays are in Boston Park.
Right.
To face the Red Sox.
Right.
Texas, Georgia, by the way.
Right. That's a must-win for
it is.
Texas, right?
For both.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay.
Texas versus Georgia, the College World Series, 8 o'clock Eastern, I think. Winner gets Oklahoma. And if it's Georgia, we don't care.
Right.
But Texas, we do care.
You and Sam care.
Oh, that's right. You're not in on that. You're not in on that.
I didn't get in on that. No. I don't remember why. I don't know. I just didn't.
You know, it's kind of like you should be maybe proud of yourself. When Sam says jump, I jump, kind of, when it comes to betting. Yep. I got one for you. I got a horse guy.
And it works often enough, so yeah, I usually do too. I don't know what. I don't know. It was a Friday, obviously. That's when he joins us.
Didn't bother.
I must have just gotten into something else and never got around back to it.
What about the Open, though? You'll do some of that?
I probably will do some of that, yeah.
We'll have Brian Koziel tomorrow at 6, as is custom, before a major championship. U.S. Open is this weekend. And it's Bulldog's turn to pick. Then I get the Open Championship.
I finally get to pick some golfers.
Yeah. You already had a couple lined up before.
Yeah, I've got, for sure. At least one. I don't know if I've said things about more than one. I know one I'm really high on.
Tune in tomorrow. More next.
Changes coming for the Vegas Golden Knights. The team did announce earlier today John Tortorella not going to return as head coach. Tortorella, of course, did take over for Bruce Cassidy late in the season. He helped guide Vegas to the Cup final, but they did ultimately fall to Carolina in 6. We also had in the league trades, multiple, including the Flyers getting goaltender Joseph Wool and defenseman Simone Benoit. To do that, they sent Toronto a 3rd and 26, goalie Samuel Aronson and defenseman Emile Andre. And then a little while ago, Nashville, they officially acquired forward Ross Colton from Colorado for a goalie prospect and 2 third-round picks, one in 26 and the other in 2027. To the Bills, they released their 2026 training camp schedule. They're only going to be at St. John Fisher for about 7 days. Day 1 is Wednesday, July 29th, and then the return of the blue and red practice over at Highmark Stadium. That is Saturday, August 8th at 7 p.m. For more on this, we do have a piece up at our website, WGR550.com. Over in the World Cup, France does take down Senegal 3-1, starting here in just a few moments. Iraq versus Norway, and for Norway, Erling Haaland making his World Cup debut. That game is out just outside of Boston. 9 p.m. sees the 22 champs Argentina begin their title defense versus Algeria. That game's in Kansas City. And then for all the night owls out there, midnight, Austria versus Jordan over in San Francisco. Then in baseball, Bison's home versus the Knights at 6:35, and that game can be heard on our sister station, the Bet 1520. It's your Paddock Chevrolet Sports Update. Paddock Chevrolet with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Zach Jones for Western New York's Voice of the Fan, WGR.
It's Mike Schopp.
We were having a very serious conversation about mayonnaise here.
And the Bulldog.
And don't even talk to me about weed.
On WGR, Sports Radio 550.
Underway in New England. Norway, Iraq. Iraq took the opening kickoff and just blasted it out of bounds in the corner. Would you do that on purpose, perhaps? Get right into a defensive posture on the front end of the field? Just sort of mark everybody and see what happens?
Maybe.
Rather than make a play?
Maybe, yeah. Yeah. Let's go play down there.
Maybe.
Yep.
You and I should just ask each other soccer questions. Since we're watching all these games, we should know all the answers. Would you ever just kick it out of bounds on purpose? I'll take your soccer questions. I've seen enough. I have a would you take question that isn't about soccer, by the way, that you may find annoying.
Okay.
Talking with Mike Giardi today about the Patriots and the AFC East. What were the records last year? Was New England 14-3?
Yes, I think that's where they ended up.
New England 14-3. With a split against the Bills 12-5. Didn't end up mattering that last game. Again, would you take, it's hot in here. Would you
it's
take,
hot. I had to take the glasses off. I can't see. I'm vain enough. I can't see. It's making my face hot. It's like I feel like I have a, anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
You should get to decide
no
what we talk about.
one wants to hear us bitching about this.
You should get to decide what we talk about.
I got to stop.
You are under duress.
Yeah, okay.
We'll make it.
All right, go ahead.
But I am sweating. We both have beards. This visor's not helping me.
No.
My Ken West tennis visor, I'm sweating through it. New England was 14-3. The Bills were 12-5. New England was the 2 seed. The Bills were the 5 seed in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
Would you take the exact same season, regular season, from the entire league?
What was the Bills' record again?
12-5.
Oh, see, you're.
I know. I said. What did I say first? You're going to find this annoying, maybe. And you're so hot over there.
You're trapping me because 12-5. You know that I will stand on this as long as I'm breathing and allowed to talk on the radio.
Automatic, yes.
12-5 is an excellent year. It's a great year. There's to me no quibbling about it. Could you do better? Of course, but 12-5, you've had a great year. I can't on June 16th sign up for finishing second and being the 5 seed.
No?
No, I don't. No. I don't want a big part of the reason, in case this doesn't make sense, because I am I don't know. I don't think I've been in here talking the Bills down necessarily, but I'm just a little leery of just they've got Josh Allen. Yeah, I think the coaching change is a big deal, and the defensive change is a bigger deal. Really, they go hand in hand. It's a new guy, and therefore a new defense, and I'm just not sure about all the pieces and all that. It's more about wanting to sign up now for New England to have that good a year. Like, that's the bigger problem I have. Of course I'd love the Bills to be 12-5, but I don't want to say right now that New England has to win 14 games. That's a real problem for me. So I don't think I could get there, and I don't think they deserve that. Like they had a good year, but I don't look at them as undeniably great or anything. So that's the bigger no for me than even the Bills.
Sure.
Yeah.
That would be the reason to say no.
Yeah.
Number one reason to say no would be you're in second place.
Right. And I'm signing up for New England having this sort of joyride season again. And
you don't want to see it.
I don't want to see it. And I also don't think, I wouldn't bet on it. I don't think it's one. I think they're still going to be really good. I think they'll be in a fight with the Bills, but I don't see necessarily either team getting to that level that New England got to last year. Like, I might say 12 is the 12 wins the division this year. Whoever gets to 12 is going to get it.
Well, I would not argue with that because I don't think New England gets to 12 wins. Even with A.J. Brown, I just don't think they get to 12 wins. You can't overstate that schedule last year, I say.
Right.
And, again, the Bills and Patriots play much the same schedule. It's not that they're always they're not going to ever be that different. But I don't know. I think they were pretty good and won 14 games, I wonder about the quarterback. If you haven't heard our chat with Mike Giardi, we'll have it for you later this hour. We asked him about May. What can May do better? What can he be better at? And he talked about the line of scrimmage. That was interesting, wasn't it? How he said that sometimes they just wouldn't send the play in. He'd have to decide for himself.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I like that. I think that's a smart thing to do with your quarterback. I think. So I like that about them.
I know, and you may know this as well. On ADP Chasing, which is tonight at 7:30, Pat Corrane, he's Mr. Drake May. Always with Drake May, 2 years in a row. When I said I would have voted for Matthew Stafford to win MVP last year, he accused me of being friends with Matthew Stafford. Because he thought there was no way. I get like this, though. There's just no way you could really think that, was basically his attitude about that. So I don't know. Is Drake May great? Is he great?
I think he's...
Isn't there another level to go before he's great?
What there is sort of like how we were talking, was it last segment or last hour, about the Sabres. There's breakthrough MVP candidate, get MVP votes. Then there's, okay, go do it again. Approximately, whatever. You don't have to have the exact same year, and you don't have to actually win the MVP. But can you stack a season of that caliber on top of the season you just had? That's a question. I'd be pretty bullish about it. I think that all the signs are there. The intangible stuff. I like this little nugget from Mike about them not telling him the plays, trying to get him to have more of a mastery of it. And I just think that the arm talent is evident. The athleticism. I think he should be. He's got every claim after a great year to expect to have more of them. Just kind of the way we felt about Josh probably in 20 when he really broke through. Big, right? 19 was promising, and there were great moments. But I don't think we were all the way there yet on, we got a guy that's, that level. He's Mahomes' equal. I don't think we got there until after 20.
It's fun to remember that. It's fun to remember for a year in life that was so complicated and sad. It's fun to remember, Allen taking off and just like when the moment was, that can be a show anytime you want it to be. And I think for you, it was Seattle.
Yep. There was a Seattle game here where the Bills just it was a pretty wild game. Like they didn't ragdoll them, but they it was kind of a pretty good fight, I'd say.
44-34.
Yeah. But they were the better team, and like, okay. Well, I thought that was like Russell Wilson is an MVP candidate, kind of like John Cooper this year in hockey. Like, he's never won it before, but he's had great years, and that was the vibe. And so and they were a Super Bowl contender, and the Bills just were better than them. And yeah, that was the moment for me. Like, okay, this team could win the Super Bowl. I don't think it's crazy.
Well, we all remember this stuff, just sort of our own journey, not to sound dramatic, about Allen, and when we bought in. Maybe you bought in the first day. Maybe, I guess conceivably someone's out there that has never done so. But for me, it was about a month after you. And, I never wanted to root against him, of course. But I also had a pretty strong case that this was not going to work out. I didn't believe in McDermott at all as like any sort of a modern difference maker in a positive way for offenses. You could still say that never really did happen the way you'd want, but you can't argue with his record. I don't think I was for much longer anyway, like a hater or anything like that. But Allen, what's this going to be? And I planted my flag, and then there came a point, and it was, for me, I think of the game against San Francisco that same year. There was a night game played in Arizona. They moved the game because of maybe fires. Was that what it was in San Francisco? They moved the game to Arizona, and I went out for it. And there were a couple of throws. I remember Kyle Shanahan after the game basically giving you what are you supposed to do against a guy like this? Really, help me. Tell me what I'm supposed to do here as a coach to give my team a chance. He had that kind of that sound about him that he just couldn't deal with Allen. And that was like, okay, I guess we're all set. Maybe for a long time because of this quarterback. But it was a few weeks after your game against Seattle. Mm-hmm. Yes, last year the Bills 12-5, the Patriots 14-3. So again, like I mentioned, that last week didn't really mean anything. Maybe it did for 5 seed versus 6. I don't remember right now. But the Bills beat the Jets in the season finale last year, 35-8, which is a great score. 35-8.
35-8 is pretty hot.
35-8 is a great score. You really won when you won 35-8. So I went to Scorigami.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bills have played in the last 2 games that ended 35-8. The other was in Miami in 2011, and they lost 35-8. And I bet I loved that score then, too.
So sad.
It was 35-6 in the fourth quarter when Kelvin Shepard tackled somebody by the name of Daniel Thomas for a safety.
Okay.
And that's just so much more fun, 35-8. Funny.
Right.
You'd rather lose 35-6 than 35-8.
Right. Yeah.
8.
Thanks for the safety at garbage time.
What is 8 doing here? So the Bills with this loss in 2011 fall to 5-5. Remember, in 2011, they had a great start. That's Fitzpatrick.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Washington. They might have shut out Washington in Toronto.
Yeah, that's Fitz got the contract like that weekend.
And now they're losing 35-8, and we're panicking.
Right.
And we're all like, we told you never to do that.
Right.
Bills, why didn't you listen?
Not
the caller earlier.
Was
you guys
not a good idea.
Do you guys think you have any influence? Well, sometimes it would have been nice.
You're right. We might have helped save you from a few things.
We wouldn't have drafted Josh Allen, me.
Right.
We would have maybe drafted Lamar Jackson. I mean, that could have gone well, too.
Yeah.
But we definitely would not have paid Ryan Fitzpatrick 15 years ago. Nice guy, it seems.
Yeah.
So 35-8. There is a name in this box score that I do not remember at all getting 2 carries for the Bills and catching a pass. And that name is Johnny White.
Okay.
Are you somewhere on Johnny White?
He was like just a fringe guy that I think got to look. I think that's all I remember Johnny White.
You do?
Yeah.
I do not.
Don't ask me what his number was.
Okay.
But that's not a completely foreign name to me.
Interesting.
I think he might have been like a practice squad running back and just got to look at it.
He was drafted by the Bills that year.
Okay.
5th round out of North Carolina. I have nothing on this player. Nothing. Johnny White.
Did you do any other looking on him? Did he do anything else besides that?
Yeah, I mean, hardly, but
Right.
he was here for parts of 2 years, then he went to Green Bay for a minute. Yeah. But that's it. 2 Dolphins in that game, okay, 2011, scored touchdowns, and these are players that would later play for the Bills.
Okay. Now we are cooking. 2 Dolphins with touchdowns in 11 who then later on played for the Bills.
Yes. Daniel Thomas, by the way, he was the player involved in that safety, was their leading rusher that day, Miami. So I don't have anything on him either.
Okay, Charles Clay is one of the answers.
Charles Clay.
Touchdown for Miami and then later played for the Bills.
Correct. Shane Graham was their kicker, and he was also a Bill.
Yeah.
I think before this, though. We also had Dan Carpenter.
Yep.
Who played for the Dolphins and the Bills.
Do I need a receiver or a running back?
Running back.
I wanted that to help me more than it is.
It's hot in here.
It is hot in here.
It's the heat in this room is the new Des Moines. You don't need to say you were just in Des Moines anymore. You can just say you were in here today.
Yeah.
I want it to be hot in the morning. I want those guys to have this experience tomorrow.
It better be.
It better be hot in the morning. Do not come in here and fix this thing tonight.
The only reason I want it to not be hot in here in the morning is that it is fixed, and so that we don't have to go through this tomorrow. But if it's like a thing that flips at 2:00 or something, and turns this into a sauna or whatever the hell we're sitting in, then I want them to have to deal with it too. I love them, but I want them to have the adversity.
Cool is better because you could just put a sweatshirt on.
Cool rules. I have no idea who this running back is.
Reggie Bush.
Oh, wow.
Who did the impossible.
Wow.
You would think impossible.
Reggie Bush.
Go an entire season and have negative rushing yards for the Bills. He is below anybody who ever rushed for 0 yards in Bills history.
I think you could. I don't need to enhance the point of how stupid I am, do I? Why not? I think you could ask me like Heisman winners who played for the Bills, and I don't think I would get to. I would forget that Reggie Bush played for the Bills. Is it okay to describe him as a Heisman winner?
I'm fine with it.
That was restored.
He did win.
Right? Yeah, he
and
won.
then they took it, and then just like OJ, they took it.
I think they gave it back.
Anybody who wins the Heisman and played for the Bills loses it.
I see.
Apparently.
Except Doug
Flutie. But we don't know where that trophy is, do we?
I definitely don't.
He has not publicly been told to surrender it, to my knowledge. I will not forget Reggie Bush because of the ball.
Right, you had an
that
experience.
my son got.
Right, yeah.
On a punt headed for him in a preseason game that was way out of bounds, and the ball just sat there on the field. And I just went to pick it up to return it, and nobody came for it. And my friend in the media who I was talking to at the time said, "Give it to the kid." So I gave it to my son. Nobody came for it.
Once
after
the kid
that.
has it, it looks like somebody gave it to him.
In
When in
this
fact
case,
it was his
me.
dad who gave it to him. But fine. Yeah. Heady move by your friend there, I'd say.
Yes, Jim. And then we went to the suite that night, tickets through work. And a coworker of ours had his son there, and his son had friends, and they were trying to take the ball.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I ended up having to take the ball from my son. Like, I got this.
You got to guard the ball.
Just until we get to the car, I will hold on to this.
All right.
I mean, it's a game ball.
Right.
I mean, it's a preseason warm-up game ball.
Whatever. It's
probably a game ball. They could have used it.
I'm going to be 61 in a week or two here. Is that a ball? Like I would still have that reaction to a ball in the suite if I were in there. Like, can I see that?
Yeah.
I don't think I would try to steal it from your son.
No, I hope.
Because that would be really mean and stupid.
Incredible.
And really, I'm much bigger than him. I could really just do whatever I wanted there. But I don't think I would have the mind to take the ball. But no, that's right. Yeah, the state I'm in now, physically, your son at that age probably could take me.
He'd win.
Let alone now. But no, the ball would be a curiosity for sure.
Our chat with Mike Giardi on the AFC East next.